fourth most games that the Ramblers have had against an opponent since they started playing football here in McBain. You rightfully pointed out last week that the Aggies are the only Highland Conference team that the Ramblers have a losing record against, although that is technically no longer true. They are 0-1 against the Houghton Lake Bobcats now, so I suppose there's a team that they have a negative record against. But I'm still going to try and get you to tell me what that record is, unless you've already looked at my notes.
I rarely get to look at your notes in time. Let's see. This is the 49th meeting, so they played 48 times.
Yes.
I would say out of 48 times, Beale City 33, McBain 15.
Solid guess. 35-13 are the Aggies against the Ramblers all time. McBain, however, is on a 2-game winning streak, having won both of the last 2 seasons' matchups. However, the Aggies 13-1 since 2003 prior to those 2 games. Got the marching band is lined up over to the side. I think they're going to be welcoming the team. It felt like everything got really quiet, but there's still 6 minutes on the clock, so we are not getting ready for the starting lineup. We get to continue with our pregame show. Those victories, their first, those 2 victories by McBain, Hawkeye, coming in the first back-to-back playoff misses for the Aggies since 1979.
Wow.
They last missed the playoffs in 1999. They were 4-5 and had made 17 straight appearances until 2017. Prior to that, 1986, they were 5-4 that year. In 70 seasons of football, they have a near 700 winning percentage. This is a program that has enjoyed a lot of success.
Yeah, this is just like the measuring tape for all of the other programs in Northern Michigan. And I dare say even like the big powerhouses like Traverse City, St. Francis, they still fall short to what this team is able to do. I'll put the legacy of the Beale City against any in the state for football.
When you look at their what they've done this season, though, as I mentioned, defensively, they've been very impressive, 7-0. They have 3 shutouts. They have only allowed 2 teams to score more than once. However, last week, Roscommon, 14-12 was the win last week, and that was in Beale City. So the Bucks giving the Aggies everything they could possibly want. What are the odds that Coach Maloney took a strong look at that game tape?
Very little. I think part of me wonders if you look at that as maybe an outlier and you better prepare for what you see in the rest of the season. On a game like that, that was a very soggy, wet night. I know it was homecoming for Beale City. They canceled the parade due to the bad weather. It was misting, and fluky things happen on a muddy football field, and I saw that field on Saturday, and that field is torn up. And if you can't execute because of the weather, you got to look at that as a factor. You got to look at the overall package that Beale City's been putting out there, the product they put out every week, not just the one against Roscommon.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Lake City played them tough as well, losing 13-0. But as I said, the going has been tough from an offensive standpoint. We look at the conditions tonight, Gary. The sky is clear. It is nippy. It's certainly chilly out there, but the field, I would think for this time of year, should be in about as good of conditions as it's going to be.
Yeah, I would say this is near perfect conditions. This is the best football night we've had all year.
Field should not be slick, as we watched players fall all over the place last week in Manton, and we would expect the ground to be better underneath them tonight. You mentioned the Aggies and their technical ability. They never seem to have a whole lot of size. McBain always seems to have quite an advantage when it comes to size on the line. But one thing Beale City has always done well, and this goes back long before head coach Brad Gross took over back in 2015, they are technically sound. They get low, they get their pads where they need to be, and despite a size differential, they always seem to create holes for those backs.
Yeah, they know how to actually manipulate body position, get a low base, and be able to push the opponent out long enough for the running backs to hit through the gaps. So they do a great job on that, and McBain wants to try and do this time is blow them up on that. So, hey, you want to hear the Drew Vanna fearless prediction of the game?
Always like to hear what Drew Vanna has to say about his predictions.
Well, I was talking to him, and about 4 weeks ago, they started having a team dinner at our house. Excuse me, it was exactly 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
On Monday nights to try and bring team unity. They were 1-2 at that time. They would just come over after practice, hang out in the barn, and he said ever since that dinner has been going on, they have yet to lose a game. So I said in cheek, I said, so what's the plans this Monday? And he goes, plan on us being there for dinner.
Well, I like the confidence level. That is always a positive thing, and you need to come into these games with confidence. You got to believe you can win before you can actually do it, right? I think somebody famous probably said that at some point in time. McBain has come out onto the field thanks to their tunnel created by the McBain Marching Band, who are setting up to give us our national anthem. Should remind you, too, with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month here all month of October, we've got the pink ribbons in the corner of the end zones on our side of the field, and all the numbers on the field are pink as well. Hawkeye, how about the Northern Truck Service starting lineups?
Your starting lineup, or your lineup for the McBain Ramblers are, and you can time me on this one, I got less than a minute to do this whole thing.
Go.
Number 1, Sebastian Matson. Number 2, Dika Dottie. Number 3, Gavin Seelan. Number 7, Austin Ealing. Number 8, Justin Gildy. Number 11, Matt Utek. Number 12, Ethan Barton. Number 16, Josh Hart Jr. Number 17, Trevor Bode. Number 18, Kagan. He screwed me up because he's out of order. Yaklin. Number 22, Caden McGillis. Number 24, George Brown III. Number 25, Owen Bonicle. Number 33, Buzz McLean. Number 34, Daniel Rodenbaugh. Number 51, Derek Camphouse. Number 56, Drew Vanna. Number 57, Brady Bailey. Number 62, Lucas Scholten. Number 64, Jesse Sycamore. Number 67, Noah Burkholder. Number 68, Caleb Altman. Number 70, Joshua Mayhew. Number 73, Daniel Maloney. Number 74, Brant Bonicle. And number 84, Keith Baker.
Will you please stand and sing with the McBain High School Band?
We're going to open the window and let you enjoy the national anthem from the McBain Marching Band.
The best band in Northern Michigan.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose rose stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red glare, while buds bursting in air, came through the night that our flag was still there. Said us that stars spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, and here in McBain, you get the added bonus of listening to the dulcet tones of Harv Lucas, the longtime PA announcer, the legend himself here in McBain, always sings along for the national anthem and does a rousing job of it.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer, that's right, the Hall of Famer. Always forget about that.
Steel City Aggies, let's welcome them to McBain.
We are going to get the captains, I think, Hawkeye, or they already done this.
They've already flipped.
Now for the
Do you know who won it?
defensive lineup for the Red
I do not. I
That's
did
all
not
right.
catch it.
We'll let people know. But we do want to, go
Steel
ahead.
City's coming out with like similar to the Remember the Titans type of walking slowly and the beat.
You know what's really funny about that is I was just listening to the Rewatchables, which is a Ringer podcast where they take a movie and kind of break it down, a movie that's very rewatchable.
Yes.
Remember the Titans.
Oh, was it a good podcast?
I'm not through it all, but so far it's been a very good podcast, yeah. All of those are enjoyable. We have been coming to you from the Shepherd's Insurance Agency broadcast booth. This has been the Pluger Mechanical pregame show, licensed and insured for all your new installations, HVAC services, and light plumbing. Call Aaron or his brother Brad at 282-3194. We're going to take a break, about 60 seconds, and we'll be back. The opening kickoff coming to you from McBain right after this.
High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
Your one-stop farm supply store is Falmouth Co-op in the heart of agriculture country. With locations at Falmouth and McBain, Falmouth Co-op has what you need to keep all your animals well-fed and healthy, plus bulk fuel and professional agronomy services like custom fertilizers and spraying and soil and grid sampling. Falmouth Co-op is your premier grain dealer and birdseed headquarters. And the McBain location has pizza, burgers, wings, and appetizers. Stop in today at either location in Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op is proud to support McBain's student athletes.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Abby Danforth keeping us sounding good back in the studio, turning dials. Week 8 of the 2019 high school football regular season. The Ramblers are hoping they can extend that and get into the playoffs, but to do so, they're going to need at least one win in these next 2 weeks. The Aggies, I assume, winning the toss, deferring to the second half, so the Ramblers will receive to start our game. They are lined up to our left. You've got Caden McGillis and Gavin Seelan deep, boot to ball, and we are underway as the kickoff slides inside the 5, and we'll go out of bounds at about the 1, barely getting out of bounds before going into the end zone. That was all kinds of dangerous there. So the Ramblers will take advantage of the penalty and get an excellent field position to start this one off. You're listening to WCDY, McBain, Cadillac, Lake City. Elsewhere, Roscommon is hosting Everett in the Highland Conference. Pine River hosting Lake City. The Manton Rangers, in a game you can listen to by going to 107.1thedrive.com. Click the game logo, are hosting Houghton Lake. Houghton Lake, just a game behind the Aggies, Hawkeye, hoping for a McBain upset and a win of their own to share the title. Ramblers going left to right, across your radio dial. They hand it off to Gavin Seelan, coming from the receiver slot position on the near side, in motion, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And it's a significant loss for McBain. It's going to be second down and about 15 back to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's one of those options that you hope that you can beat that end, but that was well disciplined and scouted by the Aggies.
Second and 15, trips to the right for George Brown III. Rolling to his right, wants to throw, looking underneath, and that's going to be picked off.
Wow, what a catch.
Is that a lineman? Number 72, Aiden Mindell,
Number 72,
stepping in front of that pass on the near sideline, and that was just George Brown. Hawkeye just didn't lead his receiver enough to the outside. And the Aggies, with our first turnover of the game, will take over in solid field position inside the Rambler 35 at the 34-yard line.
Okay, who we got?
Just underway here in the first quarter. Aggies going right to left in their road white jerseys. All white with white helmets and pink socks for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Handoff is straight up the middle on the turf, and we've got our second turnover of the game as Trevor Bode comes up with the loose ball after the handoff to Trey Small ends up on the turf.
That was huge to get some light back in McBain. When you play against a Beale City and you give up an interception right away, to get a turnover back, that gets your confidence quickly back in your side.
Incredible now after those first 3 plays of the game, Hawkeye. It's almost like nothing happened. The Ramblers have first and 10 at their own 35. Handoff is to Seeland. Seeland out of the backfield will pick his way through the line over the 40 down to the 41-yard line, gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 for McBain.
Yeah, nice straight ahead. The offensive line creating a good hole there.
Brown now in the shotgun, throwing underneath, has Ethan Barton. Barton with the catch on the outside, over midfield, into Aggie territory, and it's a Rambler first down at the 46 of Beale City.
Yeah, what they did right there is Ethan Barton ran a nice 10-yard curl route, just turned around, kind of just stood right there. George Brown threw it above everybody's head, and Ethan Barton was the only one in that plane.
Ramblers quickly come to the line up with trips to the left for Brown. Barton, the only receiver to the left side. Brown rolling to his left, now under pressure. Tucks it to his left hand. It's a straight run for him, and he'll be chased out of bounds. May have picked up a yard or two. They're going to mark him just over the 45-yard line. And we have... Nope. Thought there might have been a flag on the play. The lineman waving his arms. I don't know why the linemen do that. Line judge. In any case, it's a yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 9 now for McBain. Two receivers split either way for George Brown. You got Barton to the near side as the Ramblers go left to right. Sealand is your slot receiver on the near side. Here's Brown in motion. This is actually Dottie at quarterback. Brown will take the pitch, picking his way around the right edge, and Brown puts his head down, diving forward. He's over the 40 and brought down just shy of the 35-yard line. Give him the 36. It's going to be very close to a first down. We'll see where they mark this ball, and they will say move the chain. So it's another Rambler first down. 10:25 remaining here in the opening quarter. McBain giving up an interception on their second play from scrimmage. The Aggies turning it right back over with a fumble. And now the Ramblers putting a drive together. Dottie will go to the sideline. George Brown III will be back in at quarterback. Trips to his left. Barton, the lone receiver, to the near side. Brown in the shotgun. Thought about throwing, now steps straight forward and picking up chunks of yards over the 35, inside the 30-yard line, brought down at about the 28. Solid 8-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 2.
I think that was a design quarterback draw. I don't think the way that he pump faked that, he really had any intentions of throwing the ball out to the wide receiver or to Gavin over there. And Caden McGillis just led with a lead block right off the bat going downfield.
Call it 2nd and 3. Here's a quick out. Sealand as they get him into space, and Gavin Sealand is going to get buried on the outside by Small, but not before picking up yet another Rambler first down with 9:36 to go here in the opening quarter.
25-yard line.
After the opening turnover, this is a solid-looking drive at the moment.
On that stop for...
Ball will be marked right on the 25-yard line. Brown. Fake the pitch, now rolling to his right, wants to throw underneath and splits two defenders into the hands of Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Ramblers.
Touchdown.
What a throw by George Brown III as he fired that into Rodenbaugh's breadbasket between two white jerseys. They collided, and Rodenbaugh untouched into the corner of the zone for a touchdown.
And that was all set up by Caleb Mount Outman, as when the ball or the defensive end was coming in there, Outman stepped out and just buried him, giving George Brown plenty of room to roll out and plenty of time to throw that ball.
The Ramblers, after going for two multiple times last week and never getting it, will try the extra point, but this is blocked by the Aggies. So Sebastian Matson's extra point attempt knocked down. However, with 9:16 to go here in the first quarter, the McBain Ramblers draw first blood. They've got a 6-0 lead over the Beale City Aggies. We'll take a 30-second break and be back right after this.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438 South Maury Road in McBain, or call 231-825-2729.
6-0, the McBain Ramblers with the lead over the Beale City Aggies here at McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Abby Danforth turning the downs for us back in the studio. 9:16 remaining in the first quarter. The Ramblers, Hawkeye with the interception on their second play from scrimmage, got it right back, forcing a fumble on the Aggies' first possession. And then a fantastic drive from their own 35, culminating in a 25-yard touchdown catch by Daniel Rodenbaugh from George Brown III. And the offense, which has been maligned a bit up and down all season long, looking pretty solid there on that drive.
Back deep for the Aggies. Number 1, Trey Small, along with number
You know, I hate to curse them, but that's the best looking drive they've had all season out of that spread formation, in my opinion.
Hawkeye, who's wearing number 32 for McBain? Is that a number change?
Where's
Or did I not see 32? It was in the backfield with Brown. Maybe I'd read that one wrong. Kickoff by the Ramblers up the left sideline. Small's got to come up and jump on it. And it will be down at around the 27-yard line, and that's where the Aggies will take over. I thought I saw a 32 in the backfield, but I might have been wrong.
It could have been 22, Caden McGillis, who does play some running back.
All right, that's probably who it was.
10 Aggies.
All right, defense has to come out again. As Owen Bonico is only going one way today. I asked him if he was going to play today, and he laughed at me. Yeah, not that kind of laugh. He laughed harder. Yeah.
Aggies come out with 2 receivers. Handoff is to Small in the backfield. Small straight up the middle. We'll take it up and over the 30-yard line, down at about the 31. Give him a 4-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 6. I beat Harv. I'm so happy. Inside 9 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Ramblers lead it 6-0. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Aggies. Beal City going right to left across your radio dial. Again, come out with the 2 single receivers on either side. Got a tight end basically in a wing position there, 2-point stance. There's a swing pass to the wide receiver up the left sideline. Avoided the initial tackle. Did Logan Chillman, and then finally knocked out of bounds. But he's got an Aggie first down up at the 41-yard line.
Chillman was the starting quarterback for the last 2 years for the Aggies, and they started to decide that they weren't getting him the ball enough out in space to really use his speed. Moved him over to wide receiver this season, and you see why with that little swing pass.
Yeah, Logan Chillman is one of those names that over the last 10, 11 years of broadcasting, Hawkeye, I feel like I've said it since I started.
Yeah, he's not a very popular kid in McBain after last year's basketball districts.
Here's a handoff, kind of a sweep around the right side, and brought down finally is Wade Wilson. Oh, wow, Deadpool is playing for the Aggies. I had no idea. Sophomore Wade Wilson, who looks like a fairly solid young man, and I wonder if we'll see him on the hardwood. Taken up to the 46-yard line, gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd and 5.
Number 3, Gavin Seeley.
How cool would it be to be a high school kid and your nickname's Deadpool?
Right?
Yeah.
Aggies come out in that wing look. I think that's a wing formation, right?
Yeah.
Send a man in motion. Handoff is to that man in motion, and nice open field tackle. Trevor Bode as well as Gavin Seelan, who I think has made the last 4 tackles in a row. That was Matthew Oswald, I believe, sophomore on the run. Harv Lucas says it was number 30, and I think he might be right. Ben Matthews actually on the carry, taken up to the 48-yard line. A couple more yards. It's going to be 3rd and short now for the Aggies as we get inside 7.5 minutes to go here in the first. Ramblers lead it 6-0. Over on our sister station, 107.9 The Drive, you can listen to Cadillac taking on Ionia, making the trip down south. Did the Vikings? Familiar with that one, we are. 3rd and 2. Send a man in motion. Here's the pitch. And slipping and falling. So the Ramblers, Tyler Macton, was trying to turn upfield, and the turf slipping out from underneath him, goes to the ground back at the 45-yard line. And so now the Aggies, that 3-yard loss, has them looking at a 4th and 6 now at the 45-yard line. So interesting decision here for head coach Brad Gross.
I just want to let you know, when I do the stats, I just put down the tackle. I couldn't find turf anywhere as one of the numbers that tackled him.
Really? I give it to whoever touched him. Aggies in punt formation. The aforementioned sophomore Wade Wilson back to punt. And it's a beauty. My goodness. Taken by Seelan back at his 21-yard line and then immediately dropped at the 26.
Stopped at the 26.
Boy, Wilson gets a little more air on that. And that is a very impressive punt. However, more importantly, the Rambler defense gets a stop, and they'll get it back. 6:16 remaining. Here in the opening quarter, they enjoy a 6-0 lead, and now they got the ball first down at their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Gavin Seelan was really worried about ball security on that one in the first place, and it was good covered by Beale City. So
should always be your first concern. Ramblers come out, 2 receivers split either way for George Brown. Brown's going to hand it off to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh straight up the middle, picking his way through. Rodenbaugh powering his way over the 35 and finally brought down right around the first down marker based on where the line judges are. This is going to be a Rambler first down. Mark it at about the 37-yard line.
You know, I love the play that Gavin Seelan of. I love when kids come in from behind and they help drive the pile that's holding up your running back for a couple more yards, and that's what happened with Gavin Seelan.
First down, McBain now at the 37-yard line. 6 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 6-0. Ramblers with the lead. You got 3 receivers to the left. Gavin Seelan is your slot receiver as the Ramblers go left to right. Ethan Barton near side. Brown wants to throw. He's going to launch one deep up the middle for Seelan and just out of his reach. Nice throw from Brown. Seelan was the only player who had an opportunity at that, but he just led him a little too far.
Yeah, good play right there. You know, take your shots down deep, loosen up the defense a little bit so you continue to run on the inside.
I like that play call on first down. You've been able to run the ball fairly effectively. Why not take a shot? So 2nd and 10 now. 5:49 remaining here in the first quarter. Trips to the left for Brown. He'll quickly throw it underneath for Seelan, but throws it too high. And Gavin unable to bring it in. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now for McBain. I love the Aggie coach who is calling out the defensive signals. He is furiously moving those arms on the far sideline.
I heard he burned 600 calories just coaching on the sideline.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. 2 receivers split either way in tight formation for the Ramblers. They send Rodenbaugh in motion. Brown fakes the pitch, now wants to throw. He's got Barton open in the middle of the field and just over his head. Ethan Barton unable to track it down. If Brown had thrown that, I think Hawkeye a little further to the left and led Barton across the field a little bit more, I think that might have been an easier catch. As it was, Ethan had to reach back over his head a bit, and it comes up short, and that's going to bring up 4th down now for McBain.
I think Barton slowed up a little bit near the end of the route on that one, too.
Close only counts, hand grenades, nuclear weapons, and taxes, or something like that. So the Ramblers will be forced to punt. Small's going to let this bounce. Now he's going to take it off the bounce at the 27-yard line, and he'll run right out of bounds, right at the 35, and that's where the Aggies will get it back. 6-0 McBain, 5:31 to go here in the opening quarter. And Beale City will take over at their own 35-yard line. The Aggies, Hawkeye, last year, 2-7. It's their worst record since guess when?
Their inaugural season.
No. They had a bunch of no-win seasons very early since they started football in 1950. 1969, the last time they had a worse record than 2-7.
Did the Tigers win the World Series that year?
68. Wilson in motion. Handoff is to Small. Small puts both arms over that ball and stumbles over several bodies in the middle of the field. They will mark this at the 39, so it's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 now for the Aggies.
On that stop, number 68, Caleb Outman.
I would assume, Hawkeye, I know nothing about football, as you well know. The Ramblers really need to be disciplined. Wilson coming over like that from left to right in motion can draw a lot of attention. He's a big body and a good runner. But if you shift your responsibility and don't stay in your gap, Small could damage you up the middle.
Well, that's what this whole offense is predicated on, is the misdirection.
Here's a pitch, and oh my goodness, what a tackle. Small was supposed to be blocking on the outside, and the 2 Rambler defenders, the license plate of the trucks, I think Daniel Rodenbaugh was one of them, just shed Small, and both of them met poor Mr. Ben Matthews harshly back at the original line of scrimmage at the 35. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10. That was a devastating tackle.
Yeah, great penetration by the 4s, 34 and 24, as George Brown was able to finish him up on that one.
3rd down and 10 for the Aggies.
4 and 10 remaining here in the opening quarter. Ramblers have a 6-0 lead. Aggies 3rd and 10 now from their own 35, going right to left. Come out in that wing look, single receiver to the right side. They send Matthews in motion, now looking to pass, and under pressure, Trevor Bode from the blind side is going to bring him down. Jack Schaefer will go to the turf. And the Ramblers, with good coverage on the intended receiver, Schaefer decided that he didn't want to try and throw that deep ball. Takes the sack, and they'll mark it back at the 28-yard line, a 7-yard loss. It'll be 4th and 17 for the Aggies.
Yeah, I don't think he even felt Bode coming from the weak side. He was in there for a long time holding the ball. And Trevor Bode, I think, was surprised he still had a shot at him.
Wilson back to punt. Good snap. Steps into this one. This one a little lower, not quite as good as his first punt, but it will take an Aggie bounce and will be downed at the 34-yard line of the Ramblers. So McBain's defense, once again, coming up with a stop. We'll get it back with 3:13 remaining here in the first quarter.
Now, the last series was 3 and out for the offense, or they threw 3 incomplete passes to end the series. So need to get themselves back on track after they had the first down, and they're going back to the wing T with Deacon Dottie under center.
All right, so you got Brown, Sealand, and Rodenbaugh in the backfield behind Deacon Dottie. Dottie will hand it off to Brown, and buried underneath multiple white jerseys. Not much there for George Brown. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. A reminder, if you're leaving our listening area, you can still pick us up. Go over to 107.9Wcdy.com, click on the game logo. You can listen to us via YouTube, anywhere where you got a solid internet connection. Live streaming of McBain Rambler football brought to you by McLean Transmissions. 2nd and 10, 2:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Ramblers back to the spread. Trips to the left for Brown. Brown will throw underneath. He's got Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh's got a lot of room. Rodenbaugh makes a man miss. Rodenbaugh to the left side. He's got a first down. Finally brought down over the 45-yard line near the sideline. They will move the sticks, and the Ramblers with a big first down, 2.5 to go here in the first.
First down, Ramblers. Number 1.
Ball will be marked at the 46-yard line. Tough pass, actually. Rodenbaugh had to go up for that. Brought it in, and he had a lot of real estate in front of him.
Not to brag or anything, but Drew did a really good job blocking on that play.
You can totally brag. Trips to the right now for Brown, with Caden McGillis in the backfield. This is a designed run all the way. McGillis, and what a tackle. Wade Wilson, got to give that young man some credit, Hawkeye. He got blocked and driven to the ground basically on the block, fighting inside against his defender, his offensive player, and then from his knees was able to grab the legs of Brown and bring him down. Brown does pick up a yard or so. It'll be a 2nd and a long 9 now. So we get inside, 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Again, 3 receivers to the left. Ethan Barton, your lone receiver near side. Barton being defended by Easton Yunker, giving him a lot of cushion. Pass swung out to the left of Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh tripped over something, I think.
That's the turf, second tackle.
The turf with another tackle. Really, it should be offensive or defensive pass interference on the turf. He knocked him down before the ball got there.
But he was within the 5 yards of where you could still check the receiver.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good point. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long now for the Ramblers as we get down to 1:47 to go here in the first. 6-0 McBain. Josh Hart lined up on the far side. Over the middle, caught Gavin Seelan. Nearly pulled right out of that tackle by Small and takes it over the 40 for a few extra yards, down to the 36-yard line. It's a first down, Ramblers.
George Brown wanted to go to that swing pass to Rodenbaugh again. Saw that was covered, went off his primary receiver, went off his secondary receiver as he was looking for Ethan Barton for the jump ball. Found Gavin Seelan. So great job on going down your checklist of reads for George Brown on that one.
That is a underrated skill, not one you see often at the high school level. Brown's going to hand it off to Rodenbaugh, and the Aggies all over that as they came pouring through. Tackle by Chase Smith.
The backfield at the 39-yard line. Loss of 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 13.
Drops him back at the 39-yard line. It's going to be second and 13 now for McBain. Minute 5 remaining here in the first quarter. 6-0 McBain. Spread formation. Brown rolling to his right. Wants to throw with time. Pump fake. Now he'll throw looking deep for Rodenbaugh behind the defense. Did he stay in bounds? I say he did not. Rodenbaugh made the catch right around the 15-yard line, but he was stumbling toward the sideline, and they said he did not get his feet in bounds. You need 1 or 2 at the high school level.
Only need 1.
Yeah, that was close for sure.
I'm afraid he may have actually stepped out of bounds before he caught the ball.
That's a possibility as well.
Because the way he stumbled on that. But I guess if you want to see it for your own eyes, you better just log into the Rambler Review and watch that again.
That's right. Go to the Rambler Review. You can see that play. You can decide for yourself if he stepped out about that. If you have angle ability to tell, the Rambler bench might be in your way. So with 48.5 seconds left, 3rd and 13. So Brown in the shotgun with trips to his right. Will step back. Thought about punting, and now he's going to look to throw. He's got a ton of time. Now he'll launch it deep, looking for Seelan in the end zone. Did he come up with it? He did. Touchdown, Ramblers.
My goodness.
Gavin Seelan with the clutch catch behind the defense. Right in the hands, Hawkeye, and he kept in his grip as he went to the turf. And the Ramblers take a 12-0 lead.
Willie Mays, he turned around one way, he turned around the other one. I think he made a 360-degree adjustment on that ball before he finally caught it. He caught it in his hands. When he went to the ground, he did put it on the ground, but as long as it didn't help you with the catch,
right,
it is legal. And so that's a great call.
That is an advanced optometry good call by the officials.
Great call.
Great call by the officials. So the Ramblers will go for 2 after the blocked extra point on the previous touchdown. Brown rolling to his right, looking for somebody. He'll throw it up toward the back of the end zone, and Small does a great job. Trey Small knocking that away. So the 2-point conversion fails, but with 39 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, the McBain Ramblers have a 12-0 lead over the Beale City Aggies. We'll take a break and be back right after this.
Don's Auto Clinic, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and High Point GMC Cadillac continue to grow together to serve you better. Our staffs are a group of hardworking individuals who, just like you, get the job done every day by showing the dedication and determination to teamwork. You will not find a more dedicated team making the car or truck buying experience more seamless and easy. Locally owned dealerships, proud to support all local high school sports. We're behind you all the way.
12-0. The McBain Ramblers lead the Beale City Aggies here at McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye, Vanna, Abby Danforth turning the dials for us back in the studio. Well, they knew they needed a win, at least one in these next 2 weeks, but the Ramblers right now, Hawkeye, playing like they're trying to get those 6 wins as they've got a 12-0 lead over the visiting Aggies with 39 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, what a great way to start this game for McBain, but they have to continue doing this. And you cannot rest on a Beale City Aggie team somewhere like ever.
Nope. This is a dangerous team that has piled up some points in their 7 wins. Ramblers will put boot to ball, sent to the far sideline. It's going to bounce and be picked up inside the 15, inside the 20-yard line. If this is Small, I believe it is, making all kinds of people miss. Trey Small taking it all the way up to the 42-yard line.
Up to the 40.
And that is where the Aggies will take over with 32 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
On the stop for McBain, number 11, Matthew Utek.
And that is an indication right there, Hawkeye, that Trey Small is not somebody you want getting loose with the ball in any situation. They've been able to hold him in check to this point. Single receiver to the near side for the Aggies. They come out in that wing T formation now with 2 tailbacks behind quarterback Jack Schaefer. Schaefer will hand it off to Wilson. Wilson over the right edge, keeping both hands on that ball. Will take it over the 45-yard line to the 46. Gain of 4, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 6 with 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. We'll see if the Aggies try to get another playoff or if they'll let this go down to the end of the first quarter. No wind tonight, so direction largely irrelevant. And I do not believe the Aggies are going to get this play off. And they will not. So at the end of one quarter play, the McBain Ramblers 12, the Beal City Aggies 0. We will take a break. Second quarter action coming up right after this.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open 7 days a week.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Shepherd's Agency, founded by Joseph Shepherd, and today celebrating nearly 100 years of serving all your hometown insurance needs. The Shepherd's Agency in downtown McBain. Call 231-825-2411.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Abby Danforth turning the dials for us back in the studio. It is a 12-0 Rambler lead here in McBain. The Beal City Aggies with the ball, 2nd and 6 as we start this second quarter going left to right across your radio dial. 2 backs, single wing to the left. They'll hand it off up the middle. And that is Trey Small.
It's going to be 3rd down and 2 for the
We'll pick up about 4, bring up 3rd and 2 now for Beal City. I don't know what I did with my pencil.
Watch one come. Oh, I thought they've done the trick play where he runs over the slot.
Right at midfield are the Aggies.
Big down right here, guys.
Jacob Gross now in at quarterback. Gross is going to pitch this in the backfield, taken down beautifully. George Brown III getting into the backfield. Ryan Ames, the ball carrier.
Stopped by number 24, George Brown III.
And not much there. Stopped back in Aggie territory. They'll mark this ball at about the 49-yard line. And it'll bring up 4th and about 3 now. So apparently, was that a little bit of trickeration? Is Schaefer back in at quarterback now?
Yeah, that was a design run blitz when they saw that the switch of Gross at quarterback. But
Gross is still in at quarterback. Same tailback in Ryan Ames in the wing T. Send a man in motion.
they're just going to try to drive them off sides.
Ramblers making sure not to jump. No movement by the green and gold, and so the Aggies will take timeout. 10:26 to go here in the opening half. Ramblers lead at 12-0. We'll keep it right here for a moment. I want to let you know this broadcast brought to you in part by Burkholder Family Funeral Home, McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, Don's Auto Clinic and High Point Cadillac GMC, and McBain Family Pharmacy. We are eternally grateful to all of our broadcast partners. We could not do this without them. You get a chance to stop in to any one of those businesses. Thank them for supporting our broadcast here on 107.9 CDY. Please do so. We appreciate them, and we would love it if you would appreciate them as well. So do we see Wade Wilson in the punting spot now?
I think we do.
And we will. Wilson now back to punt.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep, by Geeler, isn't it? Yeah.
Probably still want to keep an eye out for any kind of trickeration in this situation.
Well, he's a big boy, and he can run.
He is a big boy, and he has been a runner. This is a high snap. That's going to take any of that out of the equation. Low snap, taken off the bounce by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh at the 40, and now he'll be tackled and brought down.
Punt is taken by number 34, Daniel Rodenbaugh.
At the 48-yard line, so the Ramblers will have excellent field position as the high snap taken by Wilson forced him to quickly try to punt that one low, and the Ramblers will benefit with some excellent field position with 10:15 to go here in the second quarter.
You know, you got to give Wade a lot of the credit on that one because George Brown was a heartbeat away from being there to block it, and he's still able to get something off for a punt.
Handoff is to Gavin Sealand, and Sealand is going to be driven back by a host of white jerseys.
Number 3.
They will mark him down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. So really, Hawkeye, I lost my pencil. What'd I do? There it is. I knew it was around here somewhere.
I think he threw it on that 4th down and touchdown pass.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
It's a possibility. Over on our sister station, 107.1 The Drive, the Cadillac Vikings enjoying a 14-0 lead over Ionia. Speaking of throwing, here's Brown, and somehow caught. What a catch. Amidst multiple white jerseys, Josh Hart Jr. coming back for the catch at the 40, and that'll move the chains. First down, McBain at the 40 of Beale City.
There was a mistake on that one somewhere because there was 2 wide receivers in the exact same zone where that pass was caught. So that brought extra defenders in.
Two wide receivers and 4 defenders.
Yep.
Rodenbaugh in motion. Brown will fake the pitch, rolling to his right, wants to throw, looking deep. He'll underthrow this. Either underthrew it for one receiver or overthrew Hart. In any case, it lands incomplete. Hart might have been open underneath initially, but it's easy to see from up here.
Well, it looked like everybody was covered on that play, so even though it kind of looked like an ugly play thrown into the middle of a hole that no one could catch it, it actually, I think, was a good play because it's better than throwing.
Well.
Yeah.
9:20 remaining here in the second quarter. 12-0 McBain. They've got the ball going right to left. 2nd and 10 now from the Beale City 40-yard line. Brown in the shotgun. Designed run. Brown will cup it in the left hand, put his head down, and over the 35-yard line down to the 34-yard line. Give him a 6-yard pickup. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 now for McBain as we approach the 9-minute mark here in the second quarter.
Nice little call there. You make it 4th and manageable. And right now with McBain in the, what do we call this? The pink zone?
Maroon. Oh, well, yeah. For October, it's the pink zone.
Let's see.
That's right. Clearly 2-down territory. Trips to the right for Brown. Wants to throw a quick out for Rodenbaugh. Gets a nice block from Sealand. And there's a flag on the play. So I don't know if Sealand was holding on to big number Aiden Mindell, or if something else went on there. It is a hold out there on the outside. That might have been Sealand holding on for dear life, to be honest with you. So that will negate the first down run by Rodenbaugh, and it's going to put the Ramblers in a hole. Flag thrown at around the 37-yard line. So this is going to take them to about the 47 of the Aggies.
It's going to be 3rd down and 17.
3rd and long. 3rd and 17 now for McBain. Single receiver to the near side. And now we're going to get a timeout. Coach Pat Maloney not liking what maybe he called or what he saw, and so the Ramblers will take a timeout. 8:27 remaining here in the first half. 12-0 McBain. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back right after this.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools is looking for the next generation of Ramblers. If you want to give your child the gift of a great education, make McBain Rural Agricultural Schools your school of choice. Every McBain Rambler gets a MacBook or iPad, a strong curriculum, including a variety of vocational programs, great athletics, and access to a brand new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Because great performances shouldn't be limited to the football field and basketball court. School of Choice is now open, which means a huge decision for your family is upon upon you. If you want a school that will challenge your child, support your child, and celebrate your child's individuality, make sure McBain is on your short list. It's never too late to change schools, and McBain is accepting students K through 12th grade. For more information, visit mcbain.org or call the superintendent's office at 231-825-2165. That's 231-825-2165. 231-825-2165.
8:27 remaining in the first half here at McBain. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Abby Danforth turning the dials for us back in the studio. 12-0 McBain, and they're facing a 3rd and 17 at their own 47-yard line. George Brown III under pressure, rolling to his right, and will throw it. That ball just landing over the line of scrimmage and coming up short to a coming back Daniel Rodenbaugh. So the Aggies force a 4th down now and long for the Ramblers.
Yeah, this is where I would expect George Brown to punt the ball. After the last one, he threw that touchdown pass. Beale City will keep the rush a little bit back, and he will be able to hopefully
and
pin it deep.
Nobody deep, so he could try to pooch punt this to a corner. Now they go back small, retreating quickly, and Brown way more feet into that one than he wanted to, and that will go into the end zone. Boy, it was close as he got off a beauty of a punt. Boy, George Brown III with very little run-up. Great kick that went about 45 yards in the air, but it does land in the end zone, so the Aggies will get it back 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. 8:13 remaining here in the first half. McBain with a 12-0 lead. They have forced a fumble and 3 punts on the Aggies' 4 possessions. Beale City going left to right. Come out in that single wing formation with 1 running back, 1 receiver split either way for Jack Schaefer, who is back under center. This is not Schaefer, and what a tackle there as Austin Ealing meeting Tyler Maxson as soon as he caught that ball. That is Jacob Gross at quarterback again. So I don't know if there's something wrong with Schaefer or if they've just decided to give Gross an opportunity. I see Schaefer on the sideline. He doesn't look like he's injured, so tackled by Ealing. Ball will be marked at around the 27-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 3 now for the Aggies. Double wing formation, single receiver near side is Chillman, who is always dangerous. Gross under center, sends a man in motion. That's Wilson, hands it off. Small wanted to hand it off. I think that was some miscommunication and ends up keeping it himself.
And it should be enough for a first down.
Very close. I think they're going to mark this just shy of the 30. I think he needed to get to the 30. It's going to be 3rd and short now.
3rd down and 1.
I'll call it the 29 and a half. 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. 12-0 McBain.
Not sure who the ball carrier was on that play. Number 2, Jacob Gross, that ball carrier. Just informed.
On a play like this, it's typical to see Pace call a run blitz to try and push them back so that they don't think about going for it on 4th down.
Gross calling out the signals. 2 backs behind him in the single wing. He'll hand it off, and that's going to be a first down. Nice job by the Ramblers to make sure it wasn't much more than that, but Ben Matthews, running hard, is able to pick up the first down out to the 33-yard line. It's a first down for the Aggies.
Great read by Lucas Golton as he cut that hole right there, and it looked like he had a chance to get him for a yard loss. Unfortunately, he bounced off the thighs of the running back, and they were able to get the first down. And it looks like Caden McGillis has the task of shadowing Logan Chillman wherever he goes today.
Chillman is your lone receiver to the far side. Double wing look for Gross. He's got Small in the backfield as your one tailback. He'll hand it off to the wing back in motion. That's Matthews again, and Matthews will turn it upfield over the 35-yard line to about the 37. Give him a 4-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's going to be second down and 6. 62. On the stop, number 62, Lucas Skoltis.
We get inside 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. 12-0 McBain. The Aggies going left to right. Pretty sizable Beale City crowd on that far side of the field as well tonight. Double wing look. Chilman, the lone receiver, to the far side. Gross sends his man in motion. That's Wilson. He'll give it to Small out of the backfield. Excuse me, that's not Small. That is Ryan Ames. And Ames will pick his way up to about the 39-yard line. Gain of 2. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4 now for Beale City.
Stop just short of the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Daniel Rodenbach came in on that play, and he saw the man in motion, went to play tight when the man in motion came across, and he was right there to get that running back right away. As Jesse Sycamore checks into the game for the McBain Ramblers.
Quick update for you from our sister station, 107.1 The Drive. The Cadillac Vikings have a 28-7 lead over Ionia.
Get to the running clock, Cadillac.
Send Matthews in motion. They'll pitch it to him in the back. Nice blocking. Matthews has got a first down and more, and he is up over the 45-yard line. The Ramblers, Hawkeye, look like they sent another run blitz. Got great penetration, but Matthews found a lane, and he's got a first down out at the 47.
It looked like a picket fence by the Aggies, where they had great position to open up that lane there for the running back, and McBain just couldn't seem to break through that fence.
First and 10. We hit the 4-minute mark here in the first half. Chilman is your lone receiver to the near side as they come out in that wing, double wing formation. Ames is your tailback behind Gross, the quarterback. Sends Wade Wilson in motion. Wants to throw. Looking for Chilman. Nope. Throw underneath for Wilson, and it's going to skip short. Boy, I'll tell you what. I don't know if Wilson's the primary receiver in that or not, but Chilman had 2 strides on his defender and was cutting across the field, and there was no safety help, Hawkeye.
Yeah, that was dangerous.
I thought for sure they were going to Chilman. I rarely look away from the quarterback. Chilman was moving so quickly, he drew my eye, and I assumed that's where that pass was going.
The thing is that Wade was also open in that little flat play too.
Yep, just underthrown. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now from the 47 of Beale City. 3:43 remaining here in the first half.
McGillis has given Chilman a 9-yard cushion.
Double wing look again for Gross. He'll send Wilson in motion. He'll give it to Wilson. Wilson around the right edge. And the Ramblers get nice penetration
Number 6, Wade Wilson,
and do not allow him to get any further. George Brown III. Coach Pace, a little arm flex, like, hey, see what I just did?
Stop number 24, George Brown.
And the ball marked back at the 46-yard line, so a loss. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 11 now for the Aggies.
Big play here for the Ramblers. If they can hold them tough here, they have a chance to get the ball back in the first half.
About to hit the 3-minute mark. Aggies, kind of the polar opposite of the Ramblers, Hawkeye. They come back, they huddle up, they take their time. They are in no rush offensively. Chilman, your lone receiver to the far side. Double wing look with Ames in the backfield. Jacob Gross under center.
3, 2.
And we got a whistle.
That'll be a timeout.
And it is. It will be an Aggie timeout. 2:45 to go here in the first half. We'll take a 30-second break. Ramblers lead at 12-0 and be back right after this.
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. Here, you're family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. Or stop by their store located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
12-0 McBain with the lead here at McBain High School. Jay Simon, Gary Hawkeye, Vanna, Abby Danforth back in the studio. 2:45 remaining in the first half. And the Beale City Aggies facing a 3rd and 12 from their own 46-yard line. Following a Beale City timeout. 2 receivers now. Chilman to the far side, Matthews to the near side. Ames is your tailback. Matthews wants to throw underneath, looking for Wilson, and it comes up short, incomplete, and it's going to bring up 4th down now for the Aggies. So the Rambler defense, Hawkeye, out of the timeout. I want to say doing a nice job. They might not have had much to do with Gross's throw. But that being said, they were in good position.
Yeah, and it looks like they're forcing another punt there.
Yeah, Wade Wilson
and by
back to punt.
Beale City takes a timeout, stops the clock. Then they throw an incomplete pass on a quick attempt. Another stop a clock. McBain's getting the maximum amount of time left at this point.
Good snap. And Wilson with a high punt. Got way underneath that thing. And the Ramblers will let this be down at around the 42-yard line. So that punt going about 80 yards in the air and only about 20 yards forward, but took an Aggie roll, and so the McBain Ramblers will get it back at their own 42, as you mentioned, Hawkeye, with 2:30 on the clock and 2 timeouts, I believe, remaining.
You know, when you have your timeouts left, you got 2 timeouts left at this point. I would like to see them continue to mix it up with the run and pass. They don't have to go 3 and out quickly. Get a couple first downs would be nice there, too.
Trips to the right. Brown will take it straight up the middle, puts his head down over the 45-yard line, and is stopped at about the 47. So a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Ramblers quickly to the line as the ball is marked.
In on that stop.
They come out with 2 receivers bunched to the near side, 2 to the far side. Rodenbaugh now will go in motion. Brown fakes the pitch, rolling back to his right. Wants to go deep, looking for Ethan Barton, defended by 2 receivers, 2 defenders. And Barton got a hand on it, but could not bring it in.
Pass intended for number 12.
And it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
3rd down and 5.
Tell you what, there is not much separation between the 2, but there's a holding play on that, and that pushed McBain back 15 or 10 yards.
There
or
is
maybe
a
13 yards.
Flag back at around the 44-yard line. And the referee discussing it with the Aggies. I think they'll take the
going to be marked up.
Take the yards
only
and let the Ramblers have another down, which the way Brown's been slinging it around might not be. Probably at 3rd and 5. It's probably the smart play. That's why I don't coach. 34-yard line now.
19.
Where the Ramblers will have it. 2nd and just shy of a country mile, as we are just inside the 2-minute mark. Ramblers looking to their wrists. Trips to the left for George Brown III. Single receiver top side is Barton. Brown thought about throwing. Now he'll tuck it. Brown running. Brown over the 35. Brown over the 40. Puts his head down, shoulder into it, and Aggie barrels his way just shy of the 45-yard line.
45-yard line.
And it's going to be the 44, 10-yard pickup. It'll make it 3rd and about 8 now for McBain. Minute 35 to go here in the first half.
Number 1, Trey Small on the stop.
Harv Lucas saying that Trey Small in on the tackle. Hawkeye, I think Small just happened to be what Brown tripped over.
Is that right? Yeah.
Shotgun formation, blitz coming. Brown rolling to his right, gets a block, and now will run into a defender. Great open field tackle. My goodness.
George Brown.
Trying to make sure I get the number. It ends with a 2.
9-yard line.
And we're going to get a timeout. Is that 72? I think it is. Yeah, Aiden Mandel has been all over the place. If Mandel gets on you, you are going down. And George Brown III found that out.
And if you throw it near him, he's taking it from you.
Yes, indeed. Ball marked just shy of the 40-yard line. So it's going to bring up 4th and long now for McBain. And the Aggies, Hawkeye, call their final timeout with 1:09 remaining.
Hey, that's a good ball playing by the Aggies right now, because You know, if you could spring Chillman,
Yep.
3 shots of Chillman, you might see something happen.
Yep. This is where you find out what Logan Chillman's anaerobic capacity is. If you don't hit him the first time or two, you're going to keep doing it.
You got 4 attempts.
Might as well. 109 remaining here in the first half. To 12-0 McBain lead. Quick update for you. Cadillac now has a 35-7 lead over Ionia. Every time I say Ionia, Hawkeye flinches.
Yeah, I still have that twitch. You say Ionia, I said, get to the running clock. So Ionia, get to the running clock.
George Brown III will line up in the shotgun and pooch punt this thing sky high, and it will land.
Don't touch it, guys.
And be caught by Austin Ealing, who did not listen to Hawkeye, but he can't hear him back here in his defense. Ball will be marked at the 31-yard line, and that's where Beale City will take over with a minute 1 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, the trick on a play like that, and it's a tough choice because you don't know which way it's going to bounce on the second bounce.
Yeah.
But if you let it
set
run
yourself up
and you never touch it, you keep running the clock.
Yep. Set yourself up behind the ball, in essence. If it bounces back towards you, great. Catch it. Because you touching it doesn't hurt anything. It's not like an offensive player, right?
Right.
So
but, yeah.
just be in the area, but don't grab it. Easy for us to say up here. Double wing look for the Aggies. Gross will hand it off around the left edge with some blocking. This is Tyler Maxson. Boy, they've got multiple players who run the ball, Hawkeye. I think I've called at least 5 or 6 names at running the ball out of this double wing. And the Aggies now quickly come back to the line. 4-yard pickup at 2nd and 6. Chillman is your lone receiver near. That is not Chillman, I'm sorry. I'm so used to it being Chillman. Chillman lined up on the far side. Gross wants to throw. Gross will pull it down, run to the left side, and be tackled. Trevor Bode coming up and making the tackle. Did he stay in bounds?
He did.
He did. Bode got the tackle before he got out of bounds. As we hit the 20-second mark, Aggies quickly to the line. And they will spike it with 14 seconds remaining here in the first half. So it's going to bring up 4th down now for the Aggies. Ball will be marked at the 36-yard line. So an interesting call now. 14 seconds, you would assume a long pass play would, even incomplete, run out most of this clock, but it may not run all of it out. If the Ramblers can stop it, they might get a shot from this point on the field. Shotgun formation for Gross.
Does Beale City have trick plays?
Don't know. Gross back to throw. Looking left, wants to throw deep and just overthrows Chillman. Chillman stopped at around the 40-yard line. Gross thought he was running hard the whole way, launched it to the 25, and Chillman wasn't there. So with 8.3 seconds left, Hawkeye, the Ramblers are going to get a shot at the end zone, at least one.
Yeah, might as well go for the jump ball. Gavin Seeland's fantastic at coming back to the ball, and Ethan Barton does have a height advantage as long as the line can keep people off of George Brown long enough to set up for the throw.
So Brown in the shotgun. He's got trips to his right. Blitz coming. Brown throwing underneath, has Hart, and it is a hook and ladder. Hart flips it to Seeland. Seeland trying to get to the corner against Small, pushed out of bounds, and the clock will run out. At the 10-yard line, the hook and ladder nearly working for the Ramblers. Hart to Seeland, but Seeland just could not beat Trey Small to the corner of the end zone. But what an effort by the Ramblers. Halftime here in McBain, and they've got a 12-0 lead over the Beale City Aggies. What a first half. We'll take a break, collect our stats, our breath, and our thoughts, and be back. Hawkeye is going to have a special guest for us, the McBain Hardware Halftime Show, coming up right after this.
With straightforward rewards checking from Forefront Credit Union, you get 4% rewards for doing stuff you do every day, like logging onto your account and receiving e-statements. And you can open your account right online. It's that straightforward. Unlike someone's tee shot, straightforward rewards from 4Front Credit Union. Are you getting 4%? 4.08% annual percentage yield. Rate subject to change. Interest paid on balance up to $15,000. Some requirements apply. Insured by NCUA.
Making the final arrangements for a loved one is never easy. At Burkholder Family Funeral Home in McBain, they can help you get through the process one step at a time. Serving the families in McBain and the surrounding communities for over 40 years, they take pride in providing exceptional services that families can actually afford. The caring and compassionate staff at Burkholder Family Funeral Home can help ease the burden. Burkholder Family Funeral Home. Visit them today at 211 North Pine Street in McBain or call 231-825-8191.
Just like a referee needs great eyesight to make the big calls, you need great eyesight to tackle life's challenges. At Advanced Optometry in Cadillac, their qualified and professional staff works together to ensure your visit is comfortable, accommodating your busy schedule and addressing any questions prior to your appointment. Whether it's a general eye exam or treating a condition that requires an in-depth diagnosis, you'll get undivided attention and a plan based on your needs and Advanced Optometry's expert opinion. Focused on your eye health, Advanced Optometry on Polister Street in Cadillac. Learn more at advancedoptometry.com.
Providing great service and quality to our customers, LC Materials is here for you and all your concrete and aggregate needs, both residential and commercial projects. We can assist you in estimates, sand and gravel needs, project details, and on-time delivery. LC Materials is also in Cadillac at the Concrete Store. The Concrete Store has building supplies, stone, block, tools, and other accessories to help you finish your project. So when you're ready, call LC Materials. We're ready when you are, online at lcmaterials.net.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438 South Maury Road in McBain, or call 231-825-2729.
Don's Auto Clinic, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and High Point GMC Cadillac continue to grow together to serve you better. Our staffs are a group of hardworking individuals who, just like you, get the job done every day by showing the dedication and determination to teamwork. You will not find a more dedicated team making the car or truck buying experience more seamless and easy. Locally owned dealerships, proud to support all local high school sports. We're behind you all the way.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open 7 days a week.
And we're back. It's Friday night. This is Gary Hawkeye Vanna. We are at the McBain Hardware halftime show. McBain Hardware, my brother-in-law loves to say, if they don't have it, then you probably don't need it. I want to remind everyone that you are listening to 107.9 Wcdy, McBain, Cadillac, Lake City. It's been a fantastic first half for the McBain Ramblers. They are up 12-0 against the undefeated Beale City Aggies. A lot of fireworks going on the McBain side in the first quarter, and then it settled down into a slugfest. The roar of the crowd, Steve, you said it was so loud that you could hear it from inside the building?
Well, I didn't, you know what, though? I didn't know who it was for. I was hoping it was us, and it was us with Sealand taking the long ball there.
All right. So McBain up 12-0, scored both touchdowns in the first quarter, as the first one was a 25-yard pass to Daniel Rodenbaugh. Let me backtrack. So you didn't see the first quarter. Let me start it off. McBain starts off, second play, interception. Very next play, first defensive stand for the Ramblers, recover a fumble, and McBain gets back in business. McBain says, that's it. We're going to clean this thing up. March, a great march down there, as they had a 6-play drive, ended up with a 25-yard touchdown pass to Daniel Rodenbaugh. And it looked like one of those type of Scooby-Doo type moves where two defenders came in at him, and all of a sudden the two defenders hit each other, and nobody hit Rodenbaugh, and then he was able to walk into the end zone. Gave McBain a 6-point lead. Came back out. The defense held Beale City to a punt. McBain had to punt it back to them. punt this way. Looked like we're going for another punt on 4th down. George Brown on our own, on their 39-yard line, punt formation. Decides to keep it, rolls out, buys a little time, throws a deep ball right to the breast cancer awareness ribbon in the end zone. Gavin Seelan facing him, doing a 360, and then he turned around and did a basket catch over the shoulder with his hands, brought it in for a huge touchdown, getting the whole crowd excited. That's what you heard. And since then, it's just been a defensive battle of punts. First half stats. Steve, can you help us out with those?
You bet. We've got George Brown. He's 7 of 15, 131 yards through the air. Gavin Seelan, 3 catches for 55 yards. And rushing, George Brown, 9 rushes, 37 yards. And then defensively, Gavin Seelan, 5 tackles, George Brown, 3. Caleb Outman, 2, Austin Ealing, 2, and Owen Bonico, 1.
Yeah, it's good to see Owen Bonico back down out there. I mean, he's not a dirty player, but he gives you that tough guy edge, and it's what you need out there. That scrapyard dog that is just going to fight and bite and do whatever it takes to get a win for his team. And that was great to see him back out there. What did you get to see out there from the McBain Rambler team?
Well, you know, we had a community forum tonight for the bond, so I missed part of the first quarter. But defensively, you know, I could feel immediately when I came in here the energy. You know, I mean, it's a great night for football, but you could feel that, you know what, you have a state-ranked team coming in, and our guys and our fans, for that matter, we're ready to go. You can really feel it here tonight, and great to see us up 12-0.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is probably the most picturesque, perfect football night of the season when you got the weather. It's a little bit nippy. You need the coat, maybe a hat there, but you got the beautiful green flag field. You got the different colors out there as the players here are recognizing all types of different cancer as there's a fundraiser going on, and a week from Tuesday will be, and I don't think they have a name for it yet, but it's for purple for the prostate cancer and for Jerry Eisenga.
Yep.
And they're asking for support for that one. So we have that. We had a special fundraiser last Saturday as we had the Powder Puff game, and the juniors and the seniors played into triple overtime on that one.
Yes.
With the seniors finally pulling it out and winning the coveted award. And this community raised over $500 to donate to longtime McBain teacher Connie Morrow. And it just seems like they keep on coming out, and whenever someone needs a hand, needs some money, this community is really coming together.
And that really is the name of this community. You look at whenever somebody needs something, whatever it may be, they just seem to step up. You know, whether it's the kids in the school, the staff, the people in the community. It just special place, Hawkeye, isn't it?
Wow. You know, I raised my kids here, and I could not been blessed with a better place. You know, McBain was never a place on my radar. It's not on the map anywhere. It's not a place I ever thought I wanted to go to, but God brought me here, and it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yep.
All right. So, mentioned you had a bond meeting. So what were you talking about with that?
We did, this is our second community forum that we've had, and so just giving people another opportunity to come out and hear the presentation on the November 5th bond proposal. We had a handful of people there tonight, and I've got a coffee group next week out in Falmouth at Dwayne's. I have a parent group at the cafeteria. I believe it's on Thursday morning. So, November 5th is going to be here pretty quick. So we just encourage people to get online, and we have a lot of information on our website, and people can always email me as well. But just trying to get people as educated as we can for the November 5th vote.
All right. So there's lots of information out there. Highlighting the basic things that we're going to be talking about is better security for our students.
Yep, better security.
Keeping them competitive into the changing world.
Absolutely, with the technology. And, and then we're, so you've got the technology, you've got the buses. You need to we've got to get our kids here safe. And so that's a big part of it, the technology piece and facilities. I mean, we've got roofs that are 25 years old. We got a track that's 30 years old, a middle school gym floor that's 60 years old. And so, there are a lot of needs in the district, and we hope we get a lot of people out voting on November 5th.
And I know some people might think this is a little bit of a sore subject or not, but truly this is a community track because there's 2 schools in this town that do utilize this facility. And though it's only a small portion, that does benefit every high school student in this community with this different things that are going on with this thing besides that, the auditorium, parking, stuff like that.
Yeah, and you look at the library's community library, this bond can support that. We help transport students at Northern Michigan Christian School. So this really is, in a lot of respects, a community bond.
Well, that is fantastic news to hear there. And the information is all available. You could go to the school, mcbain.org. You can hit bond, and you'll get a whole slew of information, videos, great PowerPoint, stuff like that. I know the Rambler Review has been taking small chunks, and they're releasing them one a week to make it a more digestible so you don't feel so overwhelmed. But they're going to be just getting the information out there. And as we are saying, get your questions asked. Get the answers that are the truth. Get informed, then get out and vote.
Right. And it's people are busy. And so we try to, to send it out, little kind of nuggets, if you will, digestible pieces. That's a good thing. And but we think we've broken it down where it's information that people can take. If you're in a hurry, some of the, I encourage people to read the FAQs that we just put up. It's 21 frequently asked questions. If you only have a few minutes, please take that and give it a read.
Yeah, it's a great place to start to get your information. And like you said, it's a quick read.
It is.
And that's really a beautiful thing. I want to remind you, you're listening to the McBain Hardware halftime show. McBain Hardware has an extensive line of Milwaukee products. Milwaukee, the top brand in battery operated, from chainsaws to chop saws to circular saws to your traditional drills and gizmos. Feel free to stop by McBain Hardware. Tyler or Ron will be able to set you up correctly. And the new employee, who works at McBain Hardware now?
I do know. I just, yes, Mr. Eisinger.
Mr. Dan Eisinger, longtime custodian, head custodian here.
They stole him from us.
Yeah, they were able to outbid him. So he is actually out there too. So now you can pick the brain of someone who had over 30 years of maintenance experience to help you out with your daily projects and your DIY, do it yourself, DIY type products. So,
hey, before we go off here, I just wanted to ask you, as a dad, you've got your boy, last home game next week. A little emotional for you?
Well, I tell you what, every single game has been a ton more emotional. I sit here and I'm watching, and McBain has been playing lights out defense. They're up 12-0, and I keep on looking at the sky because I'm waiting for lightning to strike in the Beale City offense to put one in. Every point, unless we're up by 30, I'm going to be shaking and nervous the whole time here with that. And then next week, it will be senior night, his last regular season football game of his career. He had a very good career here at McBain, but he understands he's not college material for athletics. And so I will be taking next week off. And I understand that you will be taking my place at color, and I will be sitting with my wife for the first time in my son's football career and enjoying it as a dad on parents' night.
Good for you. Well, I'll try to fill your shoes, but that's probably impossible.
No,
I'll do my best.
They're only 10 and a half. All right, that was Dr. Steve Preisel. Feel free to shoot him some emails with the school emails if you have questions about this bond. But do your research, find out about the bond, and also come out and continue to support this community and these schools as we're getting ready for the second half action. You're listening to McBain Football on the all-new 107.9 CDY. Thank you.
Yeah, you could tell last week how annoyed I was getting sick.
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. Here, you're family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. 875 or stop by their store located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Shepherd's Agency, founded by Joseph Shepherd and today celebrating nearly 100 years of serving all your hometown insurance needs. The Shepherd's Agency in downtown McBain. Call 231-825-2411.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools is looking for the next generation of Ramblers. If you want to give your child the gift of a great education, make McBain Rural Agricultural Schools your school of choice. Every McBain Rambler gets a MacBook or iPad, a strong curriculum, including a variety of vocational programs, great athletics, and access to a brand new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Because great performances shouldn't be limited to the football field and basketball court. School of Choice is now open, which means a huge decision for your family is upon you. If you want a school that will challenge your child, support your child, and celebrate your child's individuality, make sure McBain is on your short list. It's never too late to change schools, and McBain is accepting students K through 12th grade. For more information, visit mcbain.org or call the superintendent's office at 231-825-2165. That's 231-825-2165. 231-825-2165.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Abby Danforth turning the dials for us back in the studio. Our thanks to Dr. Steve Preisel, the McBain superintendent, who joined Hawkeye for our halftime show, gave his thoughts on the first half, as well as discussing the bond issue that's coming up here in McBain. As Hawkeye said, get out there, do your research, get informed. Email Dr. Preisel with any questions you may have. He is more than happy to answer those questions. They love to give you information without question. We are in the Northern Truck Service secret 3 minutes that were added to the clock here at the end of the half. Both teams on the field and warming up. 12-0 Ramblers with the lead here at halftime. And they got there through a 25-yard touchdown catch from Daniel Rodenbaugh from George Brown III, as well as a 39-yard touchdown catch on fourth down, Gavin Seelan for George Brown III. Other than those two drives, it has been all defense, as only three other drives have managed to even pick up a single first down. The Aggies will be receiving the kickoff to start the second half. This is the McBain Hardware halftime show. Our thanks to McBain Hardware for their support of tonight's broadcast. And this broadcast also brought to you in part by Wexford Missaukee Career Tech Center, McNally's Party Store, and McBain Auto Service. Our sincere thanks to each and every one of our broadcast partners here on 107.9 CDY.
Brad Bonico teamed up the ball for a kickoff.
Well, Hawkeye, I'm not sure that Coach Maloney has gone, well, he, I guess the last 2 years, but how often do you get to go into halftime with a lead and talk things over against the Aggies?
Well, the way the season's been going, this is one of the few times they've actually gone to halftime with the lead.
Truth. Boot to ball by the Ramblers, and we are underway as that's going to skip past Small. He's going to have to turn around back at the 15-yard line. Stumbles now. He's ahead of steam and some blocking. There's a flag behind the play. Great open field tackle, though. In the middle of the field. Is that Caden McGillis? I believe it is. But we have a player on the turf on the near side.
Owen
Bonico is on his back. Had gone to his knees on the near side away from the play, and he is on his back in some obvious pain. The Aggies have taken a knee at midfield. They're going to have the ball
10-yard line?
Well, the flag was thrown back at the 20. Small was tackled closer to the 35. Bonico is now up on his feet, but he is going to need some assistance coming off the field, and he is keeping that left leg off the ground.
You give us a signal.
It is a hold on the Aggies.
Penalty against Beale City.
Hawkeye, I know Bonico's had a leg issue in the past. What?
Ball spotted on the 10-yard line.
It's been his ankle. His ankle
okay.
has been. 2 weeks ago, he ran the ball for the first time all season, injured his ankle on that play, and he's been fighting that ankle injury the rest of the season. His ankles have always been his weakest aspect, but he didn't practice all week. He's been doing therapy, acupuncture, anything to get that ankle ready for today, and he looked good in the first half, but then that play.
Aggies come out in the wing tee with no receivers, and they hand it off to Wade Wilson, who takes it out to the 15-yard line. The penalty starts them at their own 10.
Second down and 5 for Beale City.
As we start this second half, 12-0 McBain with the lead. Wilson with the 5-yard run is going to make it 2nd and 5. So it looks like maybe one of the halftime adjustments by head coach Brad Gross, Hawkeye, is we're going to run it and dare you to stop us.
Well, they only completed one pass. Gross didn't complete a single pass this game, and the one pass was to Chillman.
Well, and now Chillman is your is your end on the far side, your tight end, I guess, in essence, in this formation. They sent Wilson in motion again. They'll give it to Small. Small around the left edge is piled up and driven back. He did get over the 15. Now we got a late flag coming in after the Ramblers gang tackled Small. He got to about the 17, but we have a flag.
Should be unsportsmanlike against McBain.
There's the head linesman is indicating unsportsmanlike against the Ramblers, but I'm not sure what went on. There was way too much activity in front of us to be able to determine that. It's going to give the Aggies a first down. Well, this is a dead ball call, but
it's after the play, one of the Ramblers threw the guy that was blocking by the shoulders and threw him down the field and got caught.
This is one of the hardest sports to play and avoid that sort of stuff. It's so physical. It's so intimate. You're so close to your opponent. It's amazing it doesn't happen more often. Ground picked off! Are you kidding me? Trevor Bode! What an interception on the far side! And he is going to be tackled at the 13-yard line. The Ramblers are going to be in business. Trevor Bode, rushing from his defensive end position on the right side, Hawkeye, leaped up and took away the wide receiver pass attempt from Gross and just took off. Wow, what an athletic play by Trevor Bode.
Yeah, it looked like he just went to block that volleyball style with two hands, and it's stuck in his hand, so he ran with it.
10:42 remaining here in the third quarter, and the Ramblers now with a first down at the Beale City 13-yard line. As they come out in the shotgun look, George Brown at third, keeping it himself, will pick up nothing, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Well, boy, the Ramblers now really want to come away with points here. You don't get this many opportunities against the Aggies, and the Aggies gesturing and talking frantically defensively. You know they want to keep the Ramblers out of the end zone here. Brown wants to throw, rolling to his right, avoiding the defender, will throw it underneath, caught at the goal line, and he's going to be down just outside the end zone, but it's going to be a first down. McBain, was that Rodenball?
That was Rodenball that caught that in the corner, and somehow Brown, buying some extra time, pushing off a McGillis with the man in his face, just threw it up a jump ball, and he was all by himself. Rodenball got lost in the shuffle and made a big catch.
Caden McGillis at the tailback position, blocking for Brown as they both rolled to the right. He had a defender right on him, trying to reach and get to Brown. McGillis holding him off. Brown basically stiff-armed him, took a step back and just slung it toward the goal line. And Rodenball, as you said, Hawkeye, finding the open space. They come out in the full house backfield. Brown trying to sneak it in is going to come up short. No, the head linesman says touchdown.
But the other one's saying it's short, so we'll see what they say. They will conference on this.
They are going to come together and discuss this.
Looks like they were stopped just short of the goal line.
Well, the linesman called it. No, this is a touchdown. It is a touchdown. They are lining up for the 2-point conversion. He was in. The head linesman called it a touchdown. And so George Brown got into the end zone. And the Ramblers now have an 18-0 lead, and they'll go for 2.
And that's another advanced optometry. Great call.
Brown with McGillis will roll to his right. Throws back for McGillis, wide open. 2-point conversion is good. Caden McGillis sneaking over to the left side. Nobody checked him. And the Ramblers, with 9:45 to go in the third, have a 20-0 lead over the Aggies here in McBain.
Wow. This is starting to get fun. McBain with a great turn of events. Trevor Bode put a major charge into this Rambler team with that INT.
What did they say just before it hit?
Absolutely a phenomenal play by Trevor Bode, setting that up. Oops, yes. Bode interception.
And you know what happens whenever you start getting optimistic? Someone in the booth has to say.
Someone in the booth, that's right. Someone in the press box has to bring up Ionia. We're not going to say who. We're not going to drop any names. We're not going to throw them under the bus. Let's just say it wasn't Coster or Lucas. That's all I'm going to say. If you know who else is up here.
Did you hear that, Brent? We're not going to name you on the radio.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Prepare to kick off for McBain numbers.
What a turn of events for the Ramblers. And now the defense will try to continue the good job they have done to this point. Boy, on that previous possession too, Hawkeye, we thought the Aggies were just going to come out and do nothing but run. And now this ball is going to skip, and Small underneath him. He will be jumped on by his teammate, Hayden Salter, doing the right thing. Small tried to fall on that ball. It squirted out from under him. Salter just fell on top of him. It was, I've got possession of both Small and the ball. And the Ramblers, semi-onside kick, not a true onside kick, but the little dribbler. Pat Maloney has been burned twice for kickoff return touchdowns. You will never see it happen to him ever again as far as he's concerned. So the Aggies will take over at their own 30-yard line with 9:44 remaining here in the third quarter. Double wing look. Chillman is your lone receiver far side, defended by McGillis. Handoff in the backfield is Wade Wilson, and Wilson is buried by Mount Outman.
That's stop number 68.
Well, really, you got to give the credit on that one also to Daniel Rodebaugh, who caught him in the backfield, turned him in to Altman, and actually got a piece of the play, causing Wade to start to stumble, and Altman just said, avalanche.
Ball will be marked back at the 28. It's a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12. I'll tell you right now, though, Hawkeye, Wade Wilson frightens me, and not just because he's named after Deadpool, but he is a big athletic kid that just looks like he's fired up, ready to bust a big one.
Yeah, he looks like
he gets up from the ground. He got dropped by Mount Outman, and he got up frustrated that he didn't get by him. Runs angry, always dangerous. Send a man in motion. They're going to pitch it. Making a man miss, spinning away from one defender. This is Tyler Maxon. And Maxon will take it up over the 30-yard line, give him the 32. It'll be a 4-yard pickup. And it will be 3rd and about 8 now for the Aggies. And we get inside 8.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Aggies huddling up patiently, as we've seen all game other than just shy of the first half.
And the senior, Owen Bonico, will not be denied as he's back in the game.
Chillman is your lone receiver, split near side. McGillis, as he has all night, defending him. Gross will hand it off. The tailback will come up just shy of the 35-yard line as one of the Ramblers lost a helmet. That's Outman, actually. And we're going to get a official timeout as Outman. I think he's required to come off the field when he loses his helmet. Is that
yes, he is.
Okay.
Down and 6.
Ball marked at the 34-yard line. It was a couple-yard gain, and it's going to be 4th and about 6 now for Beale City.
And I believe that's true at all levels, that if the helmet comes off, you must come out for a play.
Even in the NFL?
Yes.
I find that hard to believe.
But I think the NFL, you could call a timeout, and the player could come right back in.
Wilson back to punt. 7:35 remaining here in the third. Ramblers bringing some heat. And Wilson gets off a beauty this time. Sealand will take it at the 31. Gavin Sealand will take it up to about the 38. And that's where the Ramblers will take over. 7:24 to go. So the defense steps up, forces another punt. And McBain will take over. First down at their own. We'll mark it at the 39-yard line.
McBain needs to stay aggressive right now. That's what got them into this position. Sometimes they do try and take the air out of the ball early, but I'd like to see them continue to put the pedal to the metal right now.
20-0 Ramblers here in the third quarter. Trips to the left for George Brown the third in the shotgun. He's got McGillis in the backfield with him. Hart is your lone receiver to the far side. Excuse me, that's Barton. Here's a throw, and I'm not sure if that was intended for Sealand or Rodenbaugh. Both were in the area. Rodenbaugh probably had the best shot at that, but it was overthrown for him and over the head of Sealand, so it'll be incomplete. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
You know, George Brown's just too stinking athletic. He threw that one off his back foot going backwards. If he would have set his feet underneath him, he could have really had a little bit more accuracy, but he's so athletic, they could just sling that thing going in any direction.
7:20 remaining here in the third as the Ramblers look to their wrists. Trips to the left again for Brown. Single receiver to the far side in this spread look. Brown wants to run right away. Brown shedding tackles will take it up to about the 45-yard line. Looked like he was going to get dropped back at the line of scrimmage, but instead turns it into a 6-yard gain, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 4 now for the Ramblers. Nose of the ball will be marked right on the 45. As the Ramblers, again, with a no huddle, looking to the wrists for the play call from Pat Maloney on the sideline, who has wandered all the way down to the 25-yard line now. Gavin Sealand in motion. Brown will fake it to him, hands it off to Rodenbaugh up the middle, and Rodenbaugh turns what looked like a loss into a couple of yards.
It's going to be 4th down.
And it's going to bring 4th and short now from about the 47.
Number 66.
Call it 4th and about 2.
4th down and 3 for McBain.
6:20 remaining here in the third quarter.
Short, yeah. It's doing 1, 2, short, 3.
And Brown will punt. Another booming punt that Small will let go into the end zone. Oh, barely. That ball turning left. Josh Hart hustling down. Small letting it go. It did take a left-hand turn and almost stayed out of the end zone. But the Aggies will take over at the 20. Well, I tell you what, George Brown the third, Hawkeye, can put some boot into ball with only one step in that shotgun formation.
Yeah, that is pretty
It's a dangerous
amazing.
weapon. It's a great weapon to have. .606 to go here in the third quarter. Ramblers lead at 20-0. And they will come out in that double wing, but with Chilman as a receiver. Again, they started this half in the double wing with no receivers, and now they'll send Logan Chilman, the senior, out at wide receiver on the near side. 2 backs behind Jacob Gross, the quarterback. He's going to pitch this
Turn him in.
on the outside, spinning away from one defender and then right into another is Maxon, Tyler Maxon, the junior. And Maxon will be dropped
Maxon, the ball carrier.
at around the,
Stopped at the 24.
call it the 24-yard line, gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
6 for Beale City.
Nice tackle right there by George Brown as he was able to put his hip or his shoulders right into the waist so he can't go any further and was able to push him back.
Did he get involved?
Chilman will line up to the far side now at receivers. They come out with 2 receivers. Ben Matthews lined up at receiver near side, Ealing defending him. Single wing look, Small is your tailback. They'll send Wilson in motion. Handoff is to Small up the middle, and he is drilled and dropped. Might have got to the 25-yard line, but a great tackle there as the line did a great job to trip him up, and the linebackers come in and finish him off.
That kind of was a great play by Lucas Skolton as he was coming through the middle, and he got past Lucas, and then all of a sudden Lucas just reached behind him grabbed him on the shirt and said, no, like you do to that little 3-year-old that's going after that candy jar, and just pulled him right back to where Lucas was originally standing and said, get your hand out of the candy jar.
Small gets to the 26. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4 now as they send Tillman out to the near side, defended again by McGillis. Double wing look. Small is your tailback in the backfield. Gross under center, sends Wade in motion, coming far side to near side. They're going to hand it off to Matthews, who was the wing on the near side. Looked like he had been tackled initially, stayed on his feet, but Brant Bonico had him wrapped up and dropped him. But he does have the first down distance as he gets out to the 31-yard line. First down for the Aggies. First down.
On that stop number 74, Brant Bonico.
Now, second first down of the half. I guess the Ramblers got one at the 1-yard line on the touchdown drive. I had circled it. Darn my scorekeeper. Chillman comes out again as the lone receiver near side. Double wing formation, single wing formation with 2 tailbacks, this time for Gross. Wade is your wing back on the far side. Gross wants to throw. Pump fake. Now he'll pull it down, and the Ramblers, George Brown at third, despite an attempted block coming from Matthews, wraps up Gross and drops him.
George Brown.
I don't know if Jacob Gross, that was a pump fake and a designed run to the near side, but because it looked like he ran with purpose. He only glanced at Chillman and then immediately came this way, Hawkeye. But in any case, Ramblers not fooled, lost to 3.
I feel like that was designed to be a quick hitter to Chillman. If it wasn't covered, you run it. It's just a run option type of play.
Double wing look. Small is your tailback. Chillman again at receiver far side. Gross under center. 3:15 to go here in the third. Matthews in motion. They'll hand it off to Wilson. That is Maxon, makes a man miss, spinning away from the intended tackle by Ealing, and then dropped at around the 30-yard line.
It's going to be 3rd down and 11.
And it'll bring up 3rd now and 11 for the Aggies. Inside 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. On the bright side for the Ramblers, Hawkeye, with this 20-0 lead, the Aggies, with all this running, huddling, and taking their time to come to the line, killing a lot of clock on this drive.
You think you're really calming the nerves of a dad?
Probably not.
No.
Small now lines up at wide receiver on the near side. A little different look. As Gross in the shotgun wants to throw. Gross looking left, throwing, and too far. Trevor Bode defending well on the play, intended for Tyler Maxon. And the incompletion will bring up 4th and 11 now for the Aggies.
You know, McBain keeps on getting a little bit closer each time to blocking this punt.
Number 17, Trevor.
I'd love to see him get a blocked punt, but it also makes you nervous about running into the kicker here.
Exactly. The danger is...
But, you know, Owen Bonico is finally being pulled out on this play because no matter what, they can take him off any play they can to protect him because they need him on these crucial defense stands.
Wade Wilson back to punt, stands at about his 16-yard line. 2:25 to go here in the third. Good snap, rolls to his right, gets off a nice one that is going to stop and bounce away from Ealing. And
at the 45-yard line of McBain.
Not sure if Ealing didn't see it and just went to the ground to try and avoid it. In any case, the Ramblers are going to take over at their own 45-yard line.
He turtled.
He did turtle. I thought he got hurt or shot or something. I wasn't sure what happened out there.
Someone said incoming, and he turtled.
All right, well, Ramblers will take over at their own 45-yard line. 2:14 to go here in the third. Brown will give it to Seelan, and Seelan wrapped up and dropped in the backfield. Ryan Ames on the tackle.
Goes back at the 30.
Fired up on that one, all the way back at the 38-yard line. 7-yard loss, 2nd and 17 now for the Ramblers.
Stop number 19, Ryan Ames.
Inside 2 minutes to go here in the third. 20-0. McBain with the lead. 2 receivers split either way for the Ramblers. Hart and Seeland in tight formation. Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh now in motion. Brown rolling to his right, wants to throw. Throws as he's hit and overthrows Gavin Seeland on the far sideline. Incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 17.
It'll be 3rd down and 17 for McBain on their own 38-yard line.
Minute 35 remaining here in the third quarter.
You know, with that big loss on first down, McBain has turned to the passing game a little bit, and that's causing the clock to stop after every play.
Probably making a dad nervous.
If it's not a running clock, I was nervous when Manton went off the running clock last week.
Trips to the right for Brown. Fakes the quick hitter to McGillis, keeps it himself, and he is wrapped up by multiple jerseys, white jerseys, and dropped. They're going to give him forward progression to the 39-yard line. So it'll be a gain a yard, but it'll be 4th and 16, and George Brown now will likely punt. Running play, though, does help Hawkeye a bit as the clock will continue to run. But not enough, right?
I went to a doctor's appointment today, and she goes, your blood pressure's running a little bit high. And I said, yeah, well, we got Beal tonight. If they lose, their playoff chances are very slim. She goes, oh, then you're okay.
She said what?
Yep,
I don't understand.
Then you're okay. My blood pressure was running high, and I explained.
Cadillac still leads 42-14 as the Ramblers wait for the clock indication, and Brown gets off a reasonable punt that takes a semi-Rambler bounce, and Sealand is going to down it at the 35-yard line.
35-yard line of Beal City.
So the Aggies will get it back. 35 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Ramblers nursing a 20-0 lead. Just using your terminology.
I see what you did there. Well done.
Well, you asked me, Hawkeye, if the Aggies have any trick plays. I would imagine we may start to see something a little different as we approach the fourth quarter. Come out in the double wing. They got two receivers. Gross in the shotgun. Wants to throw underneath and batted away beautifully by Daniel Rodenbaugh coming up. Matthews, the intended receiver. Rodenbaugh timed it perfectly and slapped it away. It'll be second down. .30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Do you realize Gross is 0 for 7 passing? Actually, he's 1 for 8. The only complete pass he had was to Trevor Bode.
No, thanks for those stats. Gross wants to throw again. Slings it underneath. He's got Chillman. And Chillman has got an Aggie first down over the 45-yard line down to the 48. Boy, oh boy, you hold your breath when Logan Chillman catches the ball with any kind of space. Nice tackle made by the Ramblers. And now we are going to get an official timeout as the head linesman comes up to talk to the umpire.
I'm going to take the blame for that reverse jinx on that complete pass.
Yep, that's 100% on you, buddy.
That is on me.
I have learned not to do that anymore. Not sure what the discussion.
.607 left in the third quarter. McBain is up 20-0. Defense has been stout the whole game, but it started to get into the short time right here. That's a favorable placement for the Ramblers right now. Beal City on the 46-yard line. Third down and 10.
6.7 seconds remaining here in the third. As Gross in the shotgun. Back to throw. Over the middle. Has a man. Matthews caught in stride. Matthews over the 25, inside the 20-yard line, and dragged down by Rodenbaugh and several helpers, but not before picking up an Aggie first down at the 20 with 0.3 of a second remaining as they move the chains. But that is going to end the third quarter of play. So at the end of 3, the Ramblers have a 20-0 lead, but the Aggies with their best field position of the game as we start the fourth will have a first down at the Rambler 20-yard line. Final 12 minutes coming up right after this.
Providing great service and quality to our customers, LC Materials is here for you and all your concrete and aggregate needs, both residential and commercial projects. We can assist you in estimates, sand and gravel needs, project details, and on-time delivery. LC Materials is also in Cadillac at the Concrete Store. The Concrete Store has building supplies, stone, block, tools, and other accessories to help you finish your project. So when you're ready, call LC Materials. We're ready when you are, online at lcmaterials.net.
Just like a referee needs great eyesight to make the big calls, you need great eyesight to tackle life's challenges. At Advanced Optometry in Cadillac, their qualified and professional staff works together to ensure your visit is comfortable, accommodating your busy schedule and addressing any questions prior to your appointment. Whether it's a general eye exam or treating a condition that requires an in-depth diagnosis, you'll get undivided attention and a plan based on your needs and Advanced Optometry's expert opinion. Focused on your eye health, Advanced Optometry on Polister Street in Cadillac. Learn more at advancedoptometry.com.
Fourth quarter about to get underway here at McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Huckeye, Vanna, Abby Danforth turning the Dallas Force back in the studio. 20-0, the Ramblers with the lead. But the Beale City Aggies, after coming out in the second half, looking like they wanted to run the ball all night, have now gone to a shotgun look. Jacob Gross. Now we're going to get a flag, and that is, I am amazed by this. Not going to lie, Hawkeye. Caden McGillis was attempting to catch that ball, and they're going to get defensive pass interference on McGillis. The pass intended for Chilman. And again, the two hardest jobs in the universe
Pass interference
are mothering and officiating. I want nothing to do with either one of them, but I'm not going to lie. To me, Caden McGillis, who has a right to the ball, was attempting to catch that ball just as Logan Chilman was attempting to catch that ball. They both collided in the air. That's a no call in my mind.
And that's what Gavin Seeland's trying to argue, but they called it interference, believe that he got more body than he got to his spot.
So it's going to be first down at the 10-yard line. Handoff up the middle, and not much there for the Aggies as the Ramblers probably playing defense angry now.
Is that Trey Small?
25. Yeah. That was Owen Bonaco's getting off the bench, is getting back in there, and he is a little disappointed with that last call.
Second and goal from the 8 now for the Aggies. Yeah, it's a tough call to make. It's definitely bang, bang. The official that threw the flag on the far side, it's kind of tough to tell, but McGillis's arms both up in the air just like Chilman.
But he's a lot closer to what happened than we are.
There's no question about that. He also knows what he's doing, and I don't. Now we have a flag in the backfield. And the referee
illegal procedure against
is going to call illegal procedure on the Aggies, so they will lose 5 yards. It'll take them back to the 13-yard line, where it'll be second and goal.
For the Aggies.
Beale City does that thing, Hawkeye, where the line stays up on their knees, elbows on knees until a certain point, and then they all go down into their three-point stance. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Here's Gross rolling out to his left, under pressure, dumping it off underneath, and wrapped up immediately after making the catch is Maxson. He will get up to about the 6-yard line.
It's going to be third.
And it'll be third and goal now from there.
They just did a little slip pass right there with the tight end on the far side going underneath the linebackers coming across with the roll. Being chased the whole time by Lucas Skolten. Skolten was able to finally catch up to him and take him down, but not until the pass was complete.
Tough pass to make going across your body like that, even though it was just a short flip. So third and goal now from the 6 for the Aggies. 10:20 remaining in the ball game. 20-0. Ramblers with the lead. Aggies though knocking on the door. Chilman is your lone receiver near side. Single wing look for Beale City. Two tailbacks. Pitch is out to Small. Ball is on the turf.
Yaklin, did he steal it away from him?
Yaklin is there, but no, Small is going to keep it. But it's going to take the Aggies out to the 11-yard line. I wasn't sure if that pitch was going to Wilson or Small, in all honesty.
On the 11-yard line.
Looked like it went right between them, and Small ended up jumping on it, but some confusion on the pitch play, and it's going to make it 4th down and goal now from the 11-yard line for Beale City with 9:35 to go in the ball game. Big play coming up for the McBain defense.
And more importantly, the clock keeps running.
That it does.
I've never been a bigger fan of the clock than tonight.
Chilman is your lone receiver to the near side. Jack Schaefer, the former quarterback, is lined up to the far side. Gross throwing into the end zone, picked off, intercepted by Austin Ealing. And Ealing brings it out to the 6-yard line, and the Rambler defense with a huge stop. Austin Ealing with the interception in the end zone.
Up to the 6-yard.
Yeah, it stepped right into the receiver. This time he says, you can't call pass interference on me if I catch it. And he decided to catch it that time.
So McBain will take over at their own 6-yard line with 9:12 remaining in the ball game. What a stop by the Ramblers. 20-0 lead. Full house backfield. Deacon Dottie at quarterback will hand it off. And the Ramblers get a push. Maybe a couple. We'll call it.
About 2 yards out of play. Who was that ball carrier?
Call it the 8-yard line. Be about 2nd and 8 as Dottie comes back to the sideline. The Ramblers go back to the spread. George Brown III back in at quarterback.
20-0.
McBain with the lead. 49-21 Cadillac leads Ionia Hawkeye. Your worst nightmare as the Ionia, I can't remember their nickname, making a comeback. 4 receivers for the Ramblers in this spread look. They send a man in motion. That's Caden McGillis. Brown rolling to his right with an option. Will keep it. Puts a shoulder down. Sheds the tackle attempt of Small. And Brown will take it out over the 15, 20-yard line. And he's got a Rambler first down. George Brown III is not the quickest guy in the universe, Hawkeye. But, man, is he hard to bring down.
He likes to deliver a little damage. He wants you to remember every single time you try to tackle him. And he wants to, he likes being the windshield, not the bug.
Trey Small came up to tackle, put a shoulder into Brown, but Brown was too busy putting his own shoulder into Small. And now we're going to get...
Beale City timeout?
I have no idea. No indication. Nope.
I think what they wanted to do is stop the clock because they're calling him out of bounds. And the clock was running, and they wanted to correct that. And then Beale City thought it was a timeout.
Okay, clock is stopped. 8:12 remaining in the ball game. Ramblers with a first down at their own 21-yard line. Josh Hart lines up to the far side at receiver. Rodenbaugh now in the slot on the far side. 2 receivers near side. Seelan will go in motion out of the slot. The pitch is to Seelan. Seelan met in the backfield, shakes that tackler, still on his feet, churning forward, is going to pick up positive yards. Somehow, as Ryan Ames frustrated because he had Seelan dead to rights, and somehow Gavin Seelan shed him and picked up a yard.
Yeah, Ames read that and was shadowing Seelan right away, going straight to the outside edge, making it almost impossible for the left tackle to try and block him because he was running away from the left tackle before the ball was snapped.
4 receiver look again for the Ramblers. Barton is your receiver to the near side as McBain goes left. Send it. McGillis in motion this time. Brown again on a designed run. Now he'll pitch it back to McGillis, and McGillis will pick up a few more still on his feet. McGillis battling forward. McGillis all the way up to the 29-yard line. Boy, that play looked like it was blown up back at the 22 or so. And somehow Brown with a dangerous pitch back to McGillis, and McGillis stays in bounds, importantly, number 1 Hawkeye, and gets it out to the 29-yard line for a 3rd and short.
Yeah, I was surprised because the McGillis looked like all he wanted to do was stay in bounds and keep the clock running. And when he cut in, he kind of fooled the Beale City defenders and was able to find a little seam to squirt through.
6:45 to go in the game. Brown in the shotgun, 3rd and short. Brown's going to keep it over the left edge. Brown with a first down. Brown all the way up to the 40-yard line before being brought down by Trey Small. He's got a Rambler first down with an 11-yard pickup.
Yeah, put the ball in the hands of Brown and get behind the big hosses, and they were able to create enough push in a hole for him. And Yaklin's coming in, so it looks like they're going to go back to the wing tee.
My favorite part about this game, Hawkeye, is the way you look over at Mr. Coster and give him the evil eye to hit that button and start that clock. He's got to wait for the official, but...
No, he doesn't. I'll tell him when to stop it. He stops it when I say stop it.
Ramblers now will come back into the full house backfield look. Deacon Dottie under center. Handoff is to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh picking his way up the middle, and the Aggies...
Daniel Rodenbaugh, the ball carrier.
Doing a nice job defensively. That defensive line, Hawkeye, when you bunch it up like that, really does a nice job of holding their position and forcing you to try to find very little room there in the middle. They're going to get it out to the, we'll call it the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 now as Dottie and Yaklin come to the sideline. And the Ramblers will go back to the spread. They keep bringing out that full house backfield just every 6th player, so it seems like.
Well, the full house backfield brought them back against Everett. The full house backfield lit up Manton. So it has shown some very valuable usage. And when they brought out the full house backfield is when they started their winning streak.
Brown takes the snap around the left edge purposefully. He's got a first down and more. Brown up the left edge, stays inbound. Brown still on his feet. 40, 30-yard line. Finally brought down inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line of Beale City. He's got another Rambler first down.
And the clock keeps moving.
Really heads up play by George Brown III. So easy to just step out of bounds on that far side after a run like that when you're about to get hit. But he stays inbounds, absorbs the contact, and keeps the clock moving as we get inside 5 minutes to go. It's a first down at the Aggie 26-yard line for the Ramblers, who enjoy a 20-0 lead.
And with George Brown, after making a big run like that, they like to bring him off, and they can go back to that full house backfield, and that brings in Matt Utek.
Yep. Gavin Seelan will come to the sideline. Matt Utek checks in. You got McGillis, Rodenbaugh, and Utek in the backfield behind Deacon Dottie. Handoff is to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh with room. Rodenbaugh straight up the middle. Shedding tacklers. Balls on the turf. Still on the turf, and the Aggies are going to come up with it in the end zone. Rodenbaugh was shedding tacklers left and right as he went up the middle. But it got punched out from behind as he had multiple white jerseys draped on him. And then the ball bouncing away from multiple players before finally being covered by the Aggies in the back of the end zone. And so Beale City, with 4:23 remaining, dodges a bullet, gets the ball back at the 20-yard line. .423 to go. The Ramblers on that possession, Hawkeye, almost 5 minutes taken off the clock. So despite not coming up with points, they definitely did what they needed to do as far as keeping that clock running. Gross in the shotgun as the Aggies have gone to this spread look. Looks right, looks left, looks back right to the Chillman, and Chillman will get chipped by McGillis. Did he get out of bounds?
Yeah.
He did. It'll be a first down. And this is always dangerous when a team goes to something that you haven't seen really all game. This shotgun look with Gross, something that the Aggies had not shown up until this second half, really this fourth quarter.
Yeah, but you've seen the spread offense all season long when you played against Lake City, Pine River, and Manton.
Now, there's a fear of not letting somebody beat you deep. There's a great tackle there by Austin Ealing coming up and taking out Jack Schaefer.
Number 4, Jack Schaefer.
Schaefer with the catch immediately hit.
8-yard line. Gain of about
5-yard pickup on the catch.
Number 7, Austin Ealing.
Austin Ealing with the great tackle, keeping him in bounds.
Again, 2 receivers in the wing look. Gross back to throw. Coming back to his left. He's going to tuck it now, and he's going to get dropped. A nice tackle there by Trevor Bode, sliding up and taking Gross out by the legs.
Number 2. Jacob Gross, the ball carrier.
3.5 minutes in ticking to go in the ball game. Ball will be marked at the 36-yard line. Couple yard loss for the Aggies. So 3rd and 7 now for Beale City.
Hey, did I mention the clock's still moving?
Never seen Hawkeye this nervous, ever.
I think this is the 4th most nervous I've been in my life.
Right after the birth of your 3 children?
There you go.
I want to remind you, you're listening to WCDY McBain Cadillac Lake City. Gross in the shotgun, wants to throw, looking to his right, has Chillman, and Chillman drops it. I think Logan Chillman was thinking about running after that catch. Caden McGillis is giving him cushion, and it's the right thing to do. You don't want Chillman burning you deep. Clock is your friend. You've got a 3-score lead. Last thing you need is for anybody to beat you deep. And the incomplete will stop the clock. 2:56 remaining in the ball game, and it's going to bring up 4th and 7 now for the Aggies.
They bring Deacon Dottie into the game right now just to freshen up, and Josh Hart on defense to give you some fresh legs on coverage. Doing a 3-man rush with Jesse Sikkema in there also.
Schaefer and Chillman are your receivers, one each way for Gross in the shotgun out of the wing. Looking left, looking back right, and overthrows Chillman. Daniel Rodenbaugh in coverage. McGillis playing basically safety. And the turnover on downs will give the Ramblers the ball back with 2:52 to go, and yet somehow Hawkeye is still not relaxed.
I'm biting the end of this pen right off, and I got ink coming down the side of my cheek because I'm so nervous. This is Beale City. Do you understand that? The team that has we've only won 35% of our games against them in our career, and McBain is looking for the never seen before 3-game winning streak against them, and now I just put the reverse jinx on us.
Actually, they had a 6-game winning streak back from 1997 to 2002. Daniel Rodenbaugh, handoff straight up the middle, and Rodenbaugh hangs onto the ball, has a Rambler first down at the 21-yard line. So they go right back to the play that they had fumbled on. Rodenbaugh up the middle, and Daniel Rodenbaugh, showing why Coach Maloney has confidence in him, hangs on to that, picks up a big first down. 2:42 and ticking to go in the ball game. Of course, the Ramblers.
This is really weird because Maloney sending the signals in and players are sending questions back with hand signals, and it's like a sign language convention when we're trying to talk to each other.
Hawkeye Abby Danforth says, knock on wood, it clears jinxes. Handoff is to Rodenbaugh again. Rodenbaugh will bust it out to the right side. Rodenbaugh to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Ramblers.
Touchdown.
I guess that'll make up for the last fumble.
Number 34.
Daniel Rodenbaugh on the handoff up the middle, bounces it out to the right side, and he beats the defense to the corner. And the Ramblers, with 2:09 to go, have a 26-0 lead. And they're going to give Sebastian Matson another opportunity at an extra point attempt. So the left-footed senior with George Brown III holding. Good snap, good hold. Sebastian's kick is good. 27-0. The McBain Ramblers lead the Beale City Aggies. Yes, I said it. The Beale City Aggies with 2:09 remaining here in McBain. We'll take a 30-second break and be back right after this.
High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
Alongside a very high blood pressured Gary Hawkeye Vanna, I'm Jay Simon. 27-0. The McBain Ramblers have the lead over the Beale City Aggies here in week 8 of the 2019 high school football season. McBain looking for their 3rd straight win over the Aggies and looking to give the Aggies their first loss of the season if they can hang on. They will be kicking off after the Daniel Rodenbaugh 21-yard touchdown run, his second touchdown of the game. Sebastian Matson booting it through the uprights for his first extra point of the game. And the Ramblers now will do all they can to just stop any big plays out of the Aggies, as this one taken off the hop by Ryan Ames. Ames around the right edge. Ames still on his feet. And Ames is finally dragged down at around the 43-yard line. That's where Beal City will take over. Minute 59 to go in this one.
Yeah, big tackle by Matt Utek on that one. You know, I was just thinking how great it is to have Owen Bonico as your kicker, because you've got another defensive tackler on punt coverage. Usually kickers in the professional ranks are not the most stout guys. In this one, it's...
Well, the Ramblers have only ever used stout guys, I feel like. Except maybe our first season or two when Roberto was kicking off.
Just want to let you know, Lake City's up 42-0.
Wow. I will pass that on.
Who's they playing, Gary? Who's Lake City playing, Gary?
Lake City is playing Pine River.
Big shout out to Terry Hunniga, is listening to us in his pole barn. Gave me the thumbs up. All right, and says we sound great. So
that's good. So the Aggies come out in that wing T, handoff straight up the middle. This is Small finally busting loose. We talked about it all game long that we were afraid when that young man got space, he's got wheels. And he is into Rambler territory at the 40-yard line of McBain, and it's a first down, Beal City. Minute 52 to go. The clock will stop as they move the chains, and now to Hawkeyes' great relief, it will start again. Minute 45 remaining in the ball game. 27-0 McBain. Trying to hold on here in McBain.
Keith Baker's in the game now. Dustin McLean's in the game right now. Matt Utek's at middle linebacker.
Single receiver to the far side. Wade Wilson is your wingback near side. They will run it his way. Handoff is to somebody new. That's a number I don't recognize. Jace Pung taking the handoff. Both of these teams, Hawkeye, acting as if this game is over, but I know better than to even talk like that because you'd probably slug me.
Yeah, most definitely.
It is enough for a first down inside the Rambler 30-yard line. Minute 18 and ticking to go in this one. The Aggies, not in any rush, Hawkeye. They are coming up to the line slowly. Jacob Gross now under center, not looking to throw either. Chillman, your lone receiver near side. Two tailbacks, Small and Wilson. Handoff is to Wilson around the right edge. Wilson with a nice move to the outside. Made Josh Hart bite hard, and now diving forward will get inside the 5-yard line. And he's got another first down. That's the kind of running we were afraid of from Wade Wilson. That little jab step on the inside. Josh Hart might want to figure out where his he went.
They don't wear those anymore.
No. 21-yard pickup. It's a first down at the 9. First and goal now for the Aggies, but we are inside a minute to go. Hawkeye, I think I hear somebody warming up their voice.
I just want to say that Brady Bailey's out on the field for the Ramblers right now also.
Gross will hand it off. This is Jace Pung, and Pung is dropped at right around the line of scrimmage.
Taken down by Trevor Bode.
Second and goal from the 9.
Tripped up by number 17, Trevor Bode.
15 seconds remaining in the game.
All right, I'm starting to get a little calmed down.
Hawkeyes finally beginning to celebrate just a little bit. Well, and you know the Ramblers want to keep them out of the end zone here. 5 seconds remaining. Will they get the playoff? They will. Handoff is up the middle and dragged down shy of the end zone. And that's going to do it. The McBain Ramblers give the Beal City Aggies their first loss of the season and pick up a huge victory here in McBain, 27-0.
Boys, dinner's at my place on Monday. Drew told it.
What an effort from the Ramblers. Wowzers. We're going to take a break, collect our stats, our thoughts, and let Hawkeye run around the press box screaming for a few minutes, and we'll be back. The Kelly's Pizza and Grill postgame show is coming up right after this.
Your one-stop farm supply store is Falmouth Co-op in the heart of agriculture country. With locations at Falmouth and McBain, Falmouth Co-op has what you need to keep all your animals well-fed and healthy. Plus, bulk fuel and professional agronomy services like custom fertilizers and spraying and soil and grid sampling. Falmouth Co-op is your premier grain dealer and birdseed headquarters. And the McBain location has pizza, burgers, wings, and appetizers. Stop in today at either location in Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op is proud to support McBain student athletes.
With straightforward rewards checking from 4Front Credit Union, you get 4% rewards for doing stuff you do every day, like logging onto your account and receiving e-statements. And you can open your account right online. It's that straightforward. Unlike someone's tee shot, straightforward rewards from 4Front Credit Union. Are you getting 4%? 4.08% annual percentage yield. Rate subject to change. Interest paid on balance up to $15,000. Some requirements apply. Insured by NCUA.
Making the final arrangements for a loved one is never easy. At Burkholder Family Funeral Home in McBain, they can help you get through the process one step at a time. Serving the families in McBain and the surrounding communities for over 40 years, they take pride in providing exceptional services that families can actually afford. The caring and compassionate staff at Burkholder Family Funeral Home can help ease the burden. Burkholder Family Funeral Home. Visit them today at 211 North Pine Street in McBain or call 231-825-8191.
They are spilling off the field in celebration, coming through the cheerleaders to celebrate with their friends, family, and fans. The McBain Ramblers 27-0 victory over the Beale City Aggies, the first loss of the season for the Aggies. And the Ramblers have made everybody in Houghton Lake happy as well. I'm not sure if we've got a score. Maybe Abby Danforth, who's turned the dials for us back in the studio, can find out from Rich Spicer what the Manton score might be. Manton was hosting Houghton Lake. Houghton Lake was a game behind the Aggies in the conference. They needed a Rambler win and a win of their own to share the title. And they've got one half of that equation, but we don't have a score from Manton, so we're not certain what might have happened over there. But the McBain Ramblers moved to 5-3 with their fourth straight win on the season, a 27-0. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, shellacking of the Beale City Aggies. A really, really impressive win, Hawkeye. We were saying off the air during that break, easily their best effort of the season.
Yeah, that is. You know, the team we saw tonight is a dangerous playoff team. And we haven't seen them all season. So the question is, if they put an effort like this again next week against Clare, woo-wee, you don't want to face this Rambler team going into the playoffs.
No, this is a team that seems to be putting everything together. Knock on wood, the injury bug has seemed to been staved off to an extent. I did knock on wood, so that's not a jinx. Make sure everybody understands that.
Yep.
But this is the time. Coach Pat Maloney enjoying a little post-game interview with local television. They got the big celebration out on the field. So make sure you tune in, probably 9 and 10 News, I'm guessing, tonight. And you'll get to see the highlights of this one. But if you were listening all along, you heard all the highlights. Run down the scoring for you. It was all Ramblers. Daniel Rodenbaugh opened things up with a 25-yard catch from George Brown III after the Ramblers were picked off to start the game. Second play of the game, they got it right back on the Aggies' first play of the game on a fumble recovery before Rodenbaugh's touchdown gave them a 6-0 lead following a blocked extra point. After some punt exchanges, the Ramblers got it back late in the first quarter. And on fourth down from the 39-yard line, George Brown III found Gavin Seelan at the back of the end zone. Seelan made a fantastic circus catch, brought it in. The two-point conversion, no good. McBain had a 12-0 lead. That was our score at the half. Beale City came out, looked like they were going to try and run the ball a little more often. First couple of plays, they picked up yards, but then from a shotgun formation, tried to throw a quick out to a wide receiver, and Trevor Bode, leaping catch, picked it off, set the Ramblers up with a first down at the 13-yard line of the Aggies. And George Brown III finding Daniel Rodenbaugh at the 1 for a big catch And then Brown punching it in. Caden McGillis with the 2-point catch in the left side of the end zone made it 20-0 Ramblers. The Aggies, after both teams exchanged 2 punts, started from their own 35-yard line, got it down to the Rambler 8, had that 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line, went backwards, and on 4th and goal from the 11, Austin Ealing intercepted Jacob Gross in the end zone. Ramblers would give it back on a fumble into the end zone to give the ball back to Beale City, but they killed more than 5 minutes off the clock. The Aggies got it back with 4:23 left. Ramblers then on their final possession, Daniel Rodenbaugh redeeming himself. 21-yard touchdown run, extra point from Sebastian Matson was good. And the Ramblers 27-0. The Futures holding the Aggies out of the end zone on 3rd and 4th and goal from the 9-yard line to end the game. A huge win for the Ramblers.
Yeah, that was just a ginormous win for them, and it's just a fantastic way to see these Rambler team come off the schneid at a 1-2 and needing to almost win out to guarantee a playoff.
Or 1-3.
Sorry, 1-3. That's right, and they have now ran 4 in a row. And 5 wins has a great chance of getting them in, but you know what 6 wins does?
6 wins guarantees it.
And a great chance to host.
This is the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. We've got some statistics coming up for you as well as some post-game hardware to give out. Give you a quick update over on 107.1 The Drive. In the 4th quarter, the Cadillac Vikings lead Ionia 49-35. That Ionia team, as we well know, never out of anything.
Not in the second half.
That's making some dads nervous, no doubt, listening to that one. Still don't have a score for you from Manton, who are hosting Houghton Lake tonight. Lake City, we had heard, was up 42-0 over Pine River, and then Roscommon playing Everett tonight elsewhere in the Highland Conference. I want to let you know this broadcast brought to you in part by LC Materials, Forefront Credit Union, and Ceres Solutions Cooperative, the former Falmouth Co-op. We think it's Ceres. We'll find out exactly how to pronounce that for next week, but the Solutions Cooperative, allowing us to bring you tonight's broadcast. If you ever get a chance, stop in and say hi. Please do let them know you heard them here and thank them for their support of McBain Rambler Athletics here on 107.9 CDY. Hawkeye, you've got some stats for us.
Statistically speaking, big game out of George Brown. He had 5 tackles, rushed for 104 yards and a touchdown. The best runs coming in the second half to keep the clock moving. He went 8 for 18 quarterbacking for 142 yards, throwing 2 touchdowns and 1 INT. Gavin Seelan was one of the ones on the receiving end of one of his touchdowns, as he had 55 yards receiving and a touchdown. He also had 7 tackles. Daniel Rodenbaugh had a great game with 6 rushes for 48 yards and a touchdown, and 3 receptions for 48 yards and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns from Daniel Rodenbaugh. Ealing had 5 tackles for the Ramblers. Trevor Bode, he had 6 tackles for the Rambler, 1 big interception and an INT.
There's your stats. Sorry, sounded like you had more to say. I apologize.
Nope.
This is the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. I want to make sure we thank Shepherd's Insurance Agency, Northern Truck Service, Pluger Mechanical, McLean Transmissions, Advanced Optometry, McBain Hardware, and, of course, Kelly's Pizza and Grill for their support of tonight's broadcast. That leaves us with a few post-game awards to give out, and these are always more fun after a win, especially after a big win like tonight. There, first and foremost, we've got the Judy K. Gildy Photography Picture Perfect Play of the Game. Gavin Seelan is out there being interviewed right now by local television, all alone on the field by the bench. Seelan would have one of those potential Judy K. Gildy Photography Picture Perfect plays of the game. His touchdown catch on 4th down from 39 yards out in the end zone. The 2-handed catch, hanging on to that as he went to the turf, was a spectacular athletic play. But Trevor Bode's interception, any of the other touchdowns in this game, all are great candidates. But that's why we give Hawkeye the big bucks. What you got?
My Judy K. Gildy Picture Perfect Play of the game would have to be punt formation. George Brown, 39 yards out, gets the ball to punt. No, I think I'm going to dance around back here and let my gunners fly down the field. Throws the ball up in the air and then doing a 360 over-the-shoulder catch with his hands. Gavin Seelan, touchdown to make the score 12-0 Ramblers. That is my Judy K. Gildy pitcher-perfect play of the game.
Wow, I called it by mentioning that first when I was talking about Seelan out there. That never happens to me.
Well, you're going to go 2 for 2 and 3 for 3?
I doubt it. Let's move on to the Huntington Electric lineman of the game. The line doing a fantastic job on both sides of the ball tonight, of course, pitching the shutout against the Aggies. And it really was the line because there were not a whole lot of tackles being mentioned by the secondary. Linebackers did their job, obviously, but the line really did a great job in not allowing the Aggie tailbacks, and there were a lot of them, at least 5 or 6 names being mentioned tonight, to get out and break out. And so there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of options there. What you got?
My lineman of the game, the Huntington Electric lineman of the game would be Caleb Outman, with some very tough plays up the middle on the defense and clearing big holes in the end there for the running backs, especially the big one for Daniel Rodenbaugh to make it all the way to the end zone.
There you go. Mount Outman is your Huntington Electric lineman of the game here in McBain. Quick update for you. Houghton Lake is up 43-6 over Manton, which means the Bobcats, in their first year in the Jack Pine Conference, are going to share the title with the Beale City Aggies, and I think they need to give a little piece of that to the Ramblers.
All
right, a big piece of that.
According to News to You, if the playoffs started today, McBain would have a chance of a rematch against Houghton Lake.
Well, I'm sure they would love nothing more. The Bobcats, that loss really was the one that kind of put the Ramblers in this position, kind of concerned everyone, if you will. The Ramblers losing, was it 8-6, 8-7?
8-6.
8-6 in that game on a late Bobcat touchdown. And that's the one that really put them in the do or die situation here in week 8. But they dude. Hit the 27. They done. They get the 27-0 win. They turn that one around, and it's them that are sharing the title with the Aggies. So Ramblers is really starting to put things together here late in the season, which is when you want them to do it. And next up, they've got the Clare Pioneers. That leaves us with the most exciting 15 seconds in all of broadcasting. That is, of course, the L&J Meat Market Hawkeye Player of the Game. It's why you listen. It's why you stick around during the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. You want to hear it. You can't wait to hear it. This is why we give the big bucks to Hawkeye. It's not an easy call tonight. A lot of players are deserving of this one. As you had George Brown III slinging it around with a couple of touchdown throws. You had Rodenbaugh with 2 touchdowns tonight. You had a number of players on the defensive side of the ball really stepping up in a shutout. What you got?
Well, my dad always said, when you walk into a room and you flip up the light switch, do you thank the light bulb or do you thank the electricity that put the charge into the light bulb? Tonight, we're thanking the electricity that put the charge into the McBain offensive light bulb, and that was not an offensive player, but a defensive player. First series, we throw an interception. Very next play, Trevor Bode gets the turnover, charges the fan base, gets everyone all light up with the fumble recovery. Second half, Beale City has the ball. Swing pass. Trevor Bode again puts the charge in McBain by intercepting the ball from the defensive end position and running down to the 13-yard line. 6 tackles, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, took the momentum, put the charge into the team to lift them up tonight. Trevor Bode is your L&J Meat Market Hawkeye Player of the Game.
I love it. That's a great call. Trevor Bode with a terrific effort defensively tonight. As Hawkeye mentioned, the fumble recovery, the interception, 6 tackles. Trevor Bode is your Hawkeye Player of the Game, presented by L&J Meat Market. Trevor, make sure you stop by Signor's office and get whatever trinket it is he's passing out this week. Well, Dad, you're not going to be on the air next week, although will you stop up for the post-game show?
Doubt it.
Doubt it? All right.
I think I'm going to be on the field.
That's fair. That's fair.
Regardless of what happens, I'm running onto the field.
All right. Well, I'll be joined by Dr. Steve Preisel up here in the press box as Hawkeye is going to enjoy his son Drew Vanna's last game, regular season game here at home, potentially. Might not be his last home game. You never know what might happen in the green and gold from the stands with his much, much, much better half, Kathy. And you have earned that right. Absolutely. Enjoy that one. That's going to do it for us, for our producer and engineer, Abby Danforth, for Gary Huck.